Hello, fans, and welcome to This Day in Baseball, where we're going to bring you a full radio broadcast of today's game. And before we do that, I just want to thank Classic Baseball Radio, and there's a link in the notes where you can check out their full channel. They have many great radio broadcasts. And while you're listening to today's game, if you want to check out much more about the game and the players, look on the links below, and you're going to see links to player pages, the date the game happened, the year it happened, and the play-by-play. Enjoy the game, and check out the links while you're watching the game, and please don't forget to hit the subscribe button so that every time new content comes out, you're going to get that firsthand. And thank you again for checking out This Day in Baseball, and enjoy the game.
Yes, here come the Dodgers, and hi, everyone. This is Jerry Doggett along with Vin Scully and Al Helfer, inviting you to stay with us now as we get set to have a big ball game between the Giants and the Brooklyn Dodgers. All the doings are sent your way with the compliments of the F&M Schaefer Brewing Company of Brooklyn, brewers of America's oldest lager beer, Schaefer, and also with the compliments of the American Tobacco Company on behalf of Lucky Strike, the best tasting cigarette you ever smoked.
Light up a Lucky, it's baseball time. Happy-go-lucky, it's Dodger time. Settle back in your chair, there's baseball in the air right now. It's Dodger time.
Now as the game gets underway, for real enjoyment, have yourself a foaming glass of Schaefer. It's real beer. Hey there, you with a thirst in your throat. Want to quench it but good? Want to treat yourself to heaps and heaps of just plain old-fashioned enjoyment? Boy, you pick up a bottle or can of Schaefer beer and you've come to the right place. Sure enough, because this is beer that's brewed for enjoyment, which means in plain words, it's brewed for you. For you if you go for flavor in beer, for the snappy sparkle and tang that's like an autumn afternoon. How about right now for a good time to sample a glass? Let the golden liquid pour, brother, because when it comes to enjoyment, you got it made. That's Schaefer beer I'm talking about. It's real beer. Ask your home distributor to deliver a case tonight or tomorrow for sure. Well, the Dodgers, after a long trek through the West, now back to the friendly confines of Ebbets Field, hosting the New York Giants. And the bitter rivals set to get together here tonight in the first game of a 4-game series. The pitchers, it'll be Don Drysdale for the Dodgers and Ray Crone for the New York Giants. Crone lately of the Milwaukee club. The Giants and the Dodgers, of course, have both been out west, and now they come back to meet head-on here at Ebbets Field, opening the 4-game series. The Wednesday night game will be played at Roosevelt Stadium in Jersey City. Tomorrow night here, and Thursday night also at Ebbets Field. Here's a rundown now on the batting order for tonight's game. For the Giants, leading off playing second base, it'll be Danny O'Connell. Willie Mays in center field. Ray Jablonski playing at third. Gale Harris at first base. Hank Sauer in left field. Darrell Spencer at shortstop. Dusty Rhodes in right. Balmy Thomas catching, and Ray Crone pitching. And now our national anthem. For the Dodgers now, Jim Gilliam at second base, Gino Samoli in center field, Elmer Vallow in left field, Gil Hodges at first, Carl Ferrillo Furlow in right. Roy Campanella catching. Randy Jackson at third. Charlie Neal at shortstop. And the pitcher, Don Drysdale. Drysdale, one start against the Giants. He won 3-0 and lost to the Giants in relief 8-7. Crone has not pitched against the Giants against the Dodgers as a Giant. He pitched a complete game with Milwaukee 7-2 here at Ebbets Field on June the 11th. The Dodgers have a 6-3 record against the Giants this season. 3-1 at Ebbets Field, 3-2 at the Polo Grounds. The last two games shutouts. Brooklyn winning 3-0 and 6-0 behind Drysdale and Magley at the Polo Grounds July 1st and 2nd. The Dodgers, by the way, have won 18 and lost 8 since the All-Star game, which is the best in the league. They're tied with Milwaukee since the All-Star game. But the Cardinals have come along now and have taken over first place in the National League standings with a red-hot homestand. The Cardinals lead the league by a half game over Milwaukee. The Dodgers are in third, 3 games away. Cincinnati in fourth, 4.5, and Philadelphia 6 behind. Now the Dodgers take the field. Elmer Vallow going to left. Randy Jackson to third. Charlie Neal to shortstop. Gino Simone to center. Jim Gilliam to second base. Carl Furlow to right. Gil Hodges to first base. Roy Campanella to do the catching. And Don Drysdale to do the pitching. Well, friends, if you're anywhere in the neighborhood and would like to see a great ball game, make your plans. Come on over right now to Ebbets Field and take this one in. Still plenty of good seats available for you. So why don't you come on out and see the Dodgers play the Giants here at Ebbets Field this evening. It ought to be a good one, and we know you'll enjoy baseball here at Ebbets Field. The Dodgers certainly had a great road trip, and now back home to try to fatten up a little bit as all the National League clubs come by before they go on the road again for any lengthy stay. The Dodgers go to Pittsburgh for a weekend, then come back next week to the Polo Grounds, and then entertain the Pirates the following week, and then we'll be busy against the Western clubs as they invade Ebbets Field. So the Dodgers' big push now will be between now and Labor Day, because after Labor Day, Brooklyn will have just 4 home games here at Ebbets Field. So we'd advise you to make your plans to see as many games as you can while the Dodgers are at home. Well, they look nice and clean and spick and span in the white uniforms after mussing up the road uniforms for a while. Stepping into the batter's box now, the leadoff man, Danny O'Connell. And stepping up for Schaefer Beer in the play-by-play, here's Al Helfer. Al?
Thank you very much, Jerry. Hi, everybody. Danny O'Connell batting at 2.54, 4 home runs and 20 runs batted in. Young Don Drysdale, the sidearm right-hander, on the mound for the Brooklyn Dodgers. Tall, skinny kid has won 8. He's lost 6. He's 1-1 with the Giants this year. So the big 4-day series is underway as Drysdale makes the first pitch and stuffs it in there, called strike. No balls, 1 strike to count on right-hand hitting Danny O'Connell. He'll be followed by Willie Mays, the center fielder. Then will come Jabbo Jablonski, the third baseman. Drysdale pitches again. The curveball is over for a strike. No balls, 2 strikes to count now to Danny O'Connell. Don Drysdale on the mound. Roy Campanella behind the plate. Drysdale offers a sidearm fastball, and that's a little bit low. 1 ball and 2 strike count on Danny O'Connell. Reading around the infield, first to third is Hodges at first, Gilliam at second, Neal at shortstop, and over at third base, Randy Jackson. Drysdale delivers a curveball. It's outside. O'Connell started to go and changed his mind to take ball 2. 2 balls, 2 strike count. Out in left field, Elmer Vallow. Gino Simone in center, Carl Furlow in right. Sidearm fastball is dribbled back toward the mound. Drysdale off to his right, up with it, throws to first base in time, and that's all for O'Connell. 1 up, 1 down in the top half of the first inning as the Giants move against the Dodgers here at Ebbets Field. Up to the plate now comes Willie Mays. Willie batting at .322. 24 home runs, 68 runs batted in. Drysdale delivers a sidearm fastball, and Willie Mays takes it outside. 1 ball and no strike. We're in the top half of the first inning in case you just tuned in. Danny O'Connell, the first man up, dribbled back to the mound, and Drysdale threw him out. Don delivers again. Willie Mays punches out and hits it through the hole between first and second in the right for a base hit. Oh, Willie's on. That's first base hit in tonight's ball game. Coming up now will be Ray Jablonski, right-hand hitting third baseman. Jabo batting at .305, has 6 home runs and 23 runs batted in. Willie Mays, always a threat to go. He has 30 stolen bases so far this year. Leads off at first base. Hodges holds the corner on him. Drysdale to the stretch to checker first base. A pitch to the plate is swung on and fouled away. Willie Mays bluffs moving off at first. Drysdale kicking dirt out at the mound, gets ready. Looks over and checks up to see where Mays is going. Campy holds the mid as a target. Mays takes his lead. There's a throw to first, not in time. No ball, 1 strike count on Ray Jablonski, up for his first at-bat. Down comes the pitch, sidearm curve. It's swung on and bounced up toward shortstop. Neal has to wait for it to come to him on a big hop, then throws the man out at first base with Willie Mays taking second. Two down here in the top of the first inning. No score in the ball game as yet. An upset, Gale Harris. Gale is at first base tonight for the New York Giants in place of the ailing Whitey Lockman. Whitey came up with an upset stomach a couple of days ago, and so far he hasn't been able to get over it. So Gale Harris is hitting for Whitey, playing for him at first base. Batting at .226, he has 6 home runs and 19 runs batted in. Willie Mays at second. 2 down, top of the first, no score. Sidearm fastball is swung on by Harris and hit foul off the third base side into the crowd, out of play. Another big night game here tomorrow night between the Giants and the Brooklyn Dodgers. A total of 20,000 seats will be available for tomorrow night's game. Hope you're making your plans to be out here with us. Hey, if you're in the neighborhood right now, there are plenty of seats available tonight. Come on out. Enjoy the rest of the evening. It's nice and comfortably cool here. Drysdale to the stretch on the 0-1 count, delivers the fastball, and that's outside. 1 ball and 1 strike is the count on Gale Harris. Gale, a left-hand hitter, stands about 3/4 deep at the plate. And moves back almost on the restraining line as he gets ready to hit. The 1-1 delivery with Willie Mays at second and 2 down. Down comes that pitch, swung on. The bat is broken. The comebacker hit to the mound. Drysdale clears it, fires to first in plenty of time, and the inning is over. No runs, 1 hit. 1 man left on for the Giants in the top half of the first inning. Well, the score at the end of a half inning of play. It's the Giants nothing. The now coming to bat Brooklyn Dodgers have nothing. Jerry, I think you've got something. Word for it, perhaps?
Well, we've got a brief Schaefer scoreboard, Al. We'll run down that real quickly. 1 game played today. That was in the American League. The Cleveland Indians beat the Yankees at the stadium 7-2. Cleveland 7 runs, 8 hits, 1 error. Garcia the winner. And the Yankees 2 runs, 9 hits, 1 error. Larson was the loser. Woodling got his 10th home run of the year. It came in the 9th inning with 2 on. Here's a quick rundown on the scores yesterday in case you folks missed them. The Milwaukee Braves beat Brooklyn 9-7. The Giants split with Cincinnati, winning the first game 7-6 in 14 innings. The Redlegs took the nightcap 3-2. Philadelphia won the first game from St. Louis 5-4, and St. Louis won the nightcap 4-1. Chicago beat Pittsburgh a pair 6-0 and 3-2. In the American League, the Yankees beat Cleveland twice, 5-2 and 6-5. Chicago beat Boston 11-6. Baltimore beat Kansas City 5-0, and Washington beat Detroit 8-4. So the National League standings as we go to play tonight. St. Louis on top by a half game over Milwaukee. The Dodgers are next 3 behind. Cincinnati 4.5, Philadelphia 6, the Giants 18, then Chicago and Pittsburgh. In the American League, the Yankees now have a 7-game lead over second place Chicago, with Boston 13.5 away in third. That's everything off the Schaefer scoreboard, Al, so let's get right back to play, and here's Gilliam and Al Help.
Right, Jerry. Jim Gilliam batting at .248. Has 1 home run, has 28 runs batted in. Coming up to play shallow at third base, Ray Jablonski. Going deep behind first, Gale Harris. Out on the mound, the right-hander Ray Crone, ready to make the first pitch. Valmy Thomas sets him as a target. Down comes that pitch. It's outside for ball 1. One ball, no strikes to count on Jim Gilliam. First man up for the Dodgers here in the last half of the first inning of a scoreless ball game. Plate umpire Secoy down off the shoulder of Valmy Thomas to get a look at the pitch. Gilliam hitting left-handed, waggles that bat around. Crone ready to go into his motion now. Does, kicks high and throws. Went up fastball, was dragged down to the right side. O'Connell digs it out of the dirt, whips his throw to first in time, and Gilliam goes down. One out. Last half of inning number one. Now the batter is Gino Cimoli. Gino Cimoli batting at .303, has 9 home runs and 39 runs batted in. He's taking the place of Duke Snyder tonight in center. Duke's trick knee cutting up on him again. And as Jerry explained to you earlier, the suggestion has been that Duke have it operated on this winter. So he's mulling that over in his mind. Grown ready. Comes down to a right-hand hitter with a big curveball and drops it in there for a strike. No ball, 1 strike count. On deck to go next will be Elmer Vallow, left-hand hitting left fielder. Grown ready. His pumping motion. He twists and throws. Fires the fastball in there. It's on the inside off the hand. 1 ball and 1 strike. In case you're tuned in with us late, you'd like to know what the Giants did in the top of the first inning. O'Connell was the first man up and bounced out to Drysdale. Mays singled through the hole between first and second into right. Moved down to second base on Jablonski's ground out, and then the inning was ended when Harris was thrown out by Drysdale. Gino Cimoli fires one down the middle. Nice backhand stop by O'Connell. His throw to first base is not in time. Oh, Gino beats it off. That brings Bill Rigney off the Giant bench and out to do a little arguing here. Last half of the first inning. Slow bounding ball hit up the middle. Danny O'Connell. A desperation try from deep behind second after a nice backhand stab. Through to first base. Umpire Stan Landis said no. He didn't get it there in time. Well, the Dodgers with 1 out now have a runner at first base, and the argument continues down at first with Stan Landis and Bill Rigney. Valmy Thomas, who had started down toward first base, has been waved back, and he's coming back behind the plate now. Now Rigney turns, starts stomping back toward the Giant dugout, down the third base side. Ray Crone getting ready now to pitch to Elmer Vallow. Vallow batting at .325, has 2 home runs and 16 runs batted in. In 18 games as a starter, Elmer Vallow, who has picked up as utility man and as a pinch hitter, in 18 games as a starter, Elmer Vallow is batting at .367. Overall, it's .325. Left-hand hitter stands midway in batter's box. Works up somewhat on the handle of the bat. Leading off at first, Gino Cimoli. The pitch to the plate, taken by Vallow, and it's good for a strike. Elmer had a notion and changed his mind. Now he's looking down at Billy Herman behind third to see what kind of sign may be on. We'll keep an eye on Cimoli for you. He may be going. Fiddler coaching Cimoli off at first base. Now Crone is ready. Looks at Vallow. Then turns and throws to first. Cimoli hops in ahead of it. 0-0 between New York and Brooklyn. We're in the last of the first inning. Another throw to first, and Cimoli again nimbly hops back. Now the 0-1 delivery on Elmer Vallow. But instead, another throw to first. And again, Cimoli is back. Down comes the pitch. Big curveball, and Vallow after it feels it's foul up the first base side. Valmy Thomas giving it chase. Little catcher comes back behind the plate now for the Giants. Cimoli wandering back into first base. The count is no balls and 2 strikes on Elmer Vallow. 1 out, last half of the first inning. 1 on, there is no score. Ray Crone gets his sign. Looks over his shoulder at first base. Comes set. Delivers. Fastball. And Vallow cuts at it and doesn't get it. Strike 3. Elmer tried to check his swing, actually. He's gone a little bit too far. Now coming up is Gil Hodges. Standing in, batting at .303, has 16 home runs and 63 runs batted in. Crone checks his runner, Samoli, delivers the plate, and Hodges swings on the pitch and drives one deep to center field. Mays going back, way back in center field, hauls it down. He'll hit that right on the nose. So that's all in the last half of the first inning for Brooklyn. No runs, one hit. Gino Samoli scratcher up the middle. He was the man left on. There were no errors. Score at the end of 1. Giants nothing. The Dodgers nothing.
Well, we go to the second inning now, and right back to play. Here's Al.
Big Hank Sauer will be the first man up for the Giants here in the top half of the second inning. Hammer and Hank hitting at .249, 14 home runs, 38 runs batted in. Drysdale ready to go to work on him. Young Plummer cuts the pitch loose, and Sauer takes a slow curve in for a strike. Sauer, the outfield overshifts to the left and plays deep. The left side of the infield goes deep. Gilliam almost behind second base. Drysdale's curve is way outside. Can't be backhanding it. 1 ball, 1 strike count on Hank Sauer. He'll be followed by Darrell Spencer, the shortstop. And then we'll have Dusty Rhodes, the right fielder. Hank Sauer with a slightly open stance waves that bat around. Drysdale comes into him 1-1 with fastball, and Sauer drills it into right center field. Ferrillo going a long way, cannot get it. It bangs up against the right center field wall. Sauer's on his way to second. Here's the throw. It's a stand-up two-back. Hank Sauer doubles to right center. That's hit number 2 off Drysdale. Now the Giants have a man in scoring position again at second base. Darrell Spencer coming up. He's the shortstop, batting number 6 for the Giants. Hitting at .270, has 10 home runs and 37 runs batted in. Right-hand hitter, wide spread eagle stance. Sauer leads down off second. Drysdale checks him. Throws the fastball to the plate inside off the hand. 1 ball, no strikes. The count on Darrell Spencer. Campanella signs for the pitch now. Drysdale's about to fire it in there. Cuts it loose. Fastball swung on and missed for a strike. 1 ball, 1 strike count. The Giants have 2 base hits tonight. Willie Mays pounded one through the hole at first into right field in the first inning for a single. Moved to second on a ground out and died there at second base. When Harris hit back to the mound, was thrown out. Now Sauer opens with a double to right center. He's on at second. Pitch to Spencer, a curve, in for a strike. 1 ball, 2 strike count on Darrell Spencer. No score in the ball game. We're moving along here in the top of the second inning. The F&M Schaefer Brewing Company very happy to be pouring it to you tonight from Ebbets Field. Drysdale delivers a curve. It's reached for and punched out to center field. Gino Samoli has the range on it. Sauer tags up at second. Samoli's got the ball, fires all the way in, and cut off. So Sauer holds on. 1 out in the second. The runner at second. And left-hander hitting Dusty Rhodes is coming along. Rhodes batting at .209, has 4 home runs and 18 runs batted in. One of our Schaefer Award winners for the week, Sandy Amorose, whose bat has been just about as hot as a pistol lately. Riding the pines now because of a pulled muscle, his leg. Roebuck is the other Schaefer Award winner of the week. Fastball fired to Rhodes is over for a strike. Drysdale leans forward, gets his sign from Campanella. Checks his runner back over his right shoulder. Then comes to the plate with a sidearm fastball and drills it in there low. 1 ball and 1 strike. The count on Dusty Rhodes. Night's starting to settle down over Brooklyn. The lights are starting to take effect real well now. Now for the 1-1 delivery. To the stretch goes Drysdale with a check of the runner. Young fellow whips it in there. Fastball is low and outside. Rhodes count 2 balls, 1 strike. Takes a pretty good lead at second. 1 out. There's an attempted pickoff play, and it gets through Charlie Neal, and Starr breaks from second. Gino Simoli attempting to pick the ball up, has it get behind him, but Starr moves down to third, and there he holds. Roy Campanella mucks the throw coming in, but Starr still does not take advantage of it. Young Don Drysdale, in an attempted pickoff of Starr back to Charlie Neal at second base, will be charged with an error, throwing it past Charlie into center field. Starr, taking advantage of the error, moves down to third base. Well, the Giants have a man now in better scoring position. Hank Starr, although slow of foot, would be gotten in on a long fly ball. Dusty Rhodes count 2 balls, 1 strike. Infield pulls up now, hoping to get a chance to cut the run off at the plate. Drysdale goes into action, pitching to Don Rhodes. Pitch to Dusty is low. 3 balls, 1 strike. So right away, the Dodgers find themselves in a little bit of a jam. Scoreless ball game going so far tonight. We're in the top of the second inning. Starr opened with a double to right center. Spencer slide out to center field, and then on an attempted pickoff play, Drysdale threw wild. Starr moved over to third. 3-1 delivery on Rhodes. Swung on. Bounding ball up the right side. Foul. Full count now to Dusty. 3-2. Smoothing out the dirt around pitcher's mound. It's ready to go now with Dusty Rhodes. Count 3-2 on the big fella. Hank Starr comes down off third base. 3-2 pitch. Curveball. Low, ball 4. Well, Drysdale puts Rhodes on at first base, issuing the first walk of the night. And the Giants now have runners at first and third, and they're sending up Valmy Thomas, their catcher. Valmy, hitting number 8 in the order, has 3 home runs and 7 runs batted in. Little guy, not very big. Looks like he might be a shortstop rather than a catcher. Right-hand hitter. Batting at .242. First pitch, strike 1. With an overly close stance. Pumps that bat around, sort of nervous fashion. Drysdale checks up with these runners. Delivers the plate sidearm curve, and Thomas wraps it out to Gilliam, who leaps high in the air and grabs it at second base, and the runner's hold. Little looping liner to second baseman Jim Gilliam. Second out for the Giants here, and they top the second inning. And the batter coming up now will be Ray Crone, the pitcher. Crone has 2 base hits for 31 tries this year. Batting at .065. Crone, a right-hand hitter. Dodgers lead away at first and third. The pitch drives him back out of there. 1 ball and no strikes. No score in the ball game. We're in the top of the second inning. The Giants at bat. They have runners at first and third. Dusty Rhodes at first. Big Hank Stower is at third base. Drysdale pitches a sidearm fastball. Hit down to the right side. Gilliam scoots over, picks up, fires to first base. The inning is over, and Drysdale's out of it. No runs. There was a hit. There was an error. There were 2 men left on. So the score at the end of an inning and a half here tonight at Ebbets Field is the Giants nothing, the Brooklyn Dodgers have nothing. How's the supply of Schaefer? You got plenty on ice? You got some more in the cupboard? For when that beer on ice disappears? Well, you better make sure there's plenty, and then maybe get an extra 6-pack or 2 anyway. Because one thing's as sure as sunrise. If there's Schaefer beer in your house, it's bound to disappear at a regular rate. Sure, once a guy discovers the wonderful flavor of Schaefer, the way his taste buds perk up at the taste of it, and the way his eyes tell him that he's in for real enjoyment just at the sight of it, well, that's all. Like I said, it disappears. So you'd better get some Schaefer today. It's real beer.
Last of the second, Carl Furillo coming on. Right back to play. Here's Al.
Carl Furillo has been doing quite well at bat here. Recently, he has made 9 base hits and 20 at-bats in the last 4 games, and that's boosted his batting average up from 256 to 270. Carl Furillo standing in right now, batting at 279, home run. Cone winds and delivers. The pitch is swung on and hit off the third base bag. It's kicked high in the air. It's a fair ball. Spencer retrieves out in left field, and Carl Furillo is on. That ball hit right off the third base bag. You wouldn't call that a smash, but it's a base hit. That's the second hit off Ray Crone, and gives the Dodgers a base runner at first. That'll bring along Roy Campanella, hitting in the number 6 position. Roy batting at 233, has 12 home runs and 54 runs batted in. Carl Furillo ready to move off at first base. Gale Harris holding the corner against him. Crone checks his runner, comes into the plate with a curveball, and Campy hits it down off Jablonski's glove at third. Spencer will pick up a high throw to second base. All hands are safe. It'll go as a base hit. Spencer made a desperation try as the ball caromed off Jablonski's glove. He tried to get his man at second base for the force out, but could not quite get around in time to make his throw accurate. So the Dodgers may have something cooking here. 2 base hits in a row, and the third base bag, or the third baseman figured in both of them. Well, Crone's got himself a little trouble as he's wading around in hot water out there now. Randy Jackson, the batter, hitting at 250, has 1 home run and 12 runs batted in. Coming up rather shallow at third base. Coming up shallow at first, Gale Harris. They're trying to hold the runners close. Pitch is made low. For ball 1. John infield figuring that perhaps the Dodgers may be trying to advance the runners by the sacrifice route. They're playing accordingly. Carl Furillo leads off at second. Leading off at first base, Roy Campanella. Down comes the pitch. It is swung on and bounced back over the mound. A slow dribbler coming in fast as Spencer. His only play will be to first base. They get Jackson. And Furillo moves to third. Campanella moves to second. So it's about the same as a sacrifice. They get their runners advanced. Before Neal comes up there, let's pause for station identification. This is the Brooklyn Dodger Radio Network.
Dial 1460 WOKO Albany. WOKO, the Capital District's most talked about station, with downtown studios in the Hotel Wellington. Correct WOKO time now, 8:30.
Charlie Neal is hitting number 8 in the Brooklyn order. T coming up to the plate now. Charlie batting at 269. Has 8 home runs and 33 runs batted in. This young fellow's been playing with an infected thigh, but hanging right in there anyway. John infield laying halfway back. So Drysdale makes his pitch. Neal after it bounds one over the mound. There's Spencer firing into the plate. Not in time. The Furlow slides under the tag. Well, the choice of the fielder was to play to the plate to try to get Furillo coming in. Couldn't do it. So the Dodgers lead it 1-0 with Campanella moving over to third. Charlie Neal stations first base. I'll give Charlie Neal possession of first base on the fielder's choice. Have Carl Furillo scoring. 1-0 now in favor of Brooklyn. Coming up to the plate now will be Don Drysdale. One out here in the last half of the second inning. Drysdale is a batsman this year, hitting at 122. Has 5 hits for 41 at bats, has 2 home runs and 5 runs batted in. Campanella leading away at third base. Neal crawls away from first. The pitch swung on by Drysdale and missed for strike one. And has some activity now down in the Giants bullpen. Got a right-hander up and starting to throw. Let's check on him, find out who it is. Cron getting a sign from Valmy Thomas. Checks up with the runners at first and third. Delivers the plate. And attempting to bunt, Drysdale fouls it back. Campanella came down off third a couple of chopping steps to see whether or not that ball was going to be bunted fair or not. 2 strikes to count on Drysdale. Trying to squeeze the run in on the safety squeeze. Right-hander in the Giant bullpen is Big Red Worthington. Al Worthington. Now the 0-2 pitch to Drysdale. Down it comes. Drysdale swings and misses strike 3. He goes down swinging. That's the second strikeout for Rick Crone. They're 2 down and 2 on for the Dodgers here in the last half of the second inning. The batter coming up to the plate now is Jim Gilliam. Jim in the first inning led off the parade, bouncing out to second baseman Danny O'Connell. Jim batting at 2-4-7. Jablonski up shallow at third to hold Campanella, riveted to third. Harris holding first base on Charlie Neal. The pitch to the plate and Gilliam takes it. That's outside and low, ball 1. Danny O'Connell out in position second base, trying to sneak in behind first. But perhaps Valmy Thomas might try to pull a pick off on Charlie Neal. Now the 1-0 delivery. Crone still checking up with Valmy Thomas. Now comes the pitch. It's a curve that's high. Again, O'Connell sneaks over behind first base, but Charlie Neal is back in. There's no throw made. 2 balls, no strikes. The count on Gilliam. Delivery. Crone cuts it loose. Curveball is hit slowly down to shortstop. Spencer's up with it. He's got plenty of time. Makes his play to first, and that retires the side. The Dodgers in second pick up a run on 2 base hits. There were no errors. 2 men were left on. Score at the end of 2 innings of play now. It's Brooklyn 1, and the New York Giants have nothing. Well, have you seen the 1957 edition of the Dodger Yearbook? It's a dandy. 48 pages of anecdotes, stories, pictures, and records of the Dodgers, and that terrific Willard Mullen cartoon on the cover. And have you seen the brand new Schaefer Lucky Strike Baseball Guide and Record Book? Man, it's just crammed full of information. All-time records, complete rosters of all the major league teams, diagrams of the ballparks, a radio TV directory for every club, a fine piece on Pee Wee Reese, and also Emmett Kelly. Boy, this is some book. Well, listen to this. Both these fine books can be yours for only 50 cents. That's what I said. Both the 1957 Dodger Yearbook and the brand new Schaefer Lucky Strike Baseball Guide and Record Book can be yours for just $50. Now, here's how to get yours. Send 50 cents along with your name and address to Dodger Baseball Books, Box 119, Brooklyn, New York. That's Dodger Baseball Books, Box 119, Brooklyn, New York. Yes, sir, the biggest bargain of the year and the finest in the Baseball Reading League. It's a fine gift for that youngster of yours, too. And remember, this offer is being made for a limited time only. So order yours today.
We will be back on side 2 to continue the game.
Third inning of the ball game. Top of the Giant batting order. O'Connell, Mays, and Jablonski coming on. So for Schaefer Beer and more play-by-play, here's Al.
Danny O'Connell came up in the first inning as the Giant leadoff man, hit right back to the mound to Drysdale and was thrown out, so he's 0 for 1. He'll be followed by Willie Mays and then by Ray Jablonski. O'Connell batting at 2.53. Drysdale right-hands him. Curveball is in and over for a strike. Tommy Henrik coaching for the Giants at first base, the third base coach and first lieutenant of Bill Rigney. Little Davy Williams. The 0-1 pitch, sidearm curve, swung on and lined into left center field, in for a base hit. Bell chasing over into the alley in left center, cannot come up with the ball. And O'Connell steams into second with a 2-bagger. Then overruns it, and the throw from Charlie Neal back into Gil Hodges, who was down there at second base to cover. Well, almost got him. Hill goes a double. Danny O'Connell a double to left center. Now each side has 3 base hits in this ball game, in which runs are apparently very much at a premium. The batter coming up now is Willie Mays. Nobody out. Top of the third inning. The Giants have the tying run at second. Mays singled to right field first time up. Swings on a pitch this time and fouls it right up over our heads. Strike 1. Willie Mays batting at 324. Single to right field in the first inning was good for 2 batting percentage points. Drysdale delivers to him again a curve that drives him back out of there. 1 ball and 1 strike. Roy Campanella, after having popped the sign, pops him as a target. O'Connell hands on hips, leads off second. Drysdale checks up with him, then throws 1-1 on the sidearm curve, and Mays after pounds at the deep center field. Samoli going back, still going back, way back. No use. It's into the center field stands for a home run for Willie Mays. Willie Mays has just unloaded his 26th home run here at Ebbets Field. That's his 25th of the year, too, incidentally. And it gives the Giants the bulge now, 2-1. A home run into the center field section. Give Willie 2 RBIs on it. Hit number 4 runs 1 and 2 off Drysdale. The batter up now is Jablonski. Drysdale delivers Jablonski the fastball, and that's low, ball 1. Some activity now down in the Dodger bullpen. Pitch to the plate. Jablonski waves at it, doesn't get it. 1 ball and 1 strike. Yeah, ball in the first inning bounced out to shortstop Charlie Neal. Young Drysdale ready again. Comes down with the fastball. Jablonski starts to go for it, then changes his mind and takes it outside. 2 ball, 1 strike count on Jablonski. We're at the top of the third inning. Nobody out. 2 runs have been scored by the Giants. They're leading 2-1. Drysdale pops the next pitch in there, and it's swung on. Hit deep shortstop. Neal's up with it. Makes his long, hurried throw. It's off the bag, but Hodges makes the tag on Jablonski going by. We have 1 out. Down in the bullpen for the Brooklyn Dodgers, right-hander Roger Craig is up starting to throw. The batter coming up now for the Giants is Gale Harris, their first baseman. He's 0 for 1. Swings on a pitch, doesn't get it. In the first inning, Harris hit back to the mound and retired to side. So he's 0 for 1 tonight. Batting at 225. The 0-1 delivery. Soft curve is over for a strike. No balls, 2 strikes now. The count on Gale Harris. 1 out. The base is empty. Top of the third. The Giants lead at 2-1. This is the only ball game being played tonight in the major league. Unless we have no other current scores to be giving you. Sidearm fastball is a strike. Gets away from Campanella. He picks up and records the out at first base. I'll give Drysdale his first strikeout tonight. Now the batter coming up is Hank Starr, who in the second inning ripped a double to right center, moved around to third base on an error, and died at third. Big right-hand hitter. Drysdale fires in there, and Starr after it beats it down into the ground foul for strike 1. Starr batting at 2.52. It hasn't been too many years ago, and this big fellow was one of the scourges of the Cincinnati Reds. A lot of power and could really risk that ball. The 0-1 pitch. Sidearm let-up curve is outside. 1 ball and 1 strike. Banks proved a rather valuable man for the Giants to have around. He's filled in at several spots. Been used quite often as a pinch batter for the Giants. The 1-1 pitch to him. A curve. Swung on a miss for strike 2. 1 ball, 2 strike count. Starr waves that heavy bat around. Drysdale starts his motion again. Delivers 1 and 2. The fastball is swung on and uppercutted. Back by first base. Gil Hodge is waiting for it to come down and squeezes it. Well, that's all for the Giants in the third inning. However, they pick up a lead. 2 runs on Willie Mays' 2-run home run. There were 2 hits in the inning. There was no one left on, and there were no errors. The score at the end of 2.5 innings of play now, it's the Giants 2. The Brooklyn Dodgers have 1.
You know, after 9 innings of hustling out there on the ball field, a player kind of likes to sit back a while and relax. Well, I guess you'd go for some of the same after you've been working at the job or around the house, huh? Well, let me tell you, to really enjoy relaxing, you put a cool glass of Schaefer beer in your hand. Talk about pleasure, man, that's it. A glass of golden amber Schaefer, tall and cool, topped off with a snowy white crown of foam. Why, it even looks relaxing. And when it comes to flavor, Schaefer's got it. The wonderful light and dusty flavor you want, but don't always find. You see, Schaefer is brewed only of rich barley malt, tangy hops, and other fine natural ingredients. So next time you're in the mood for some really enjoyable relaxing, do it with Schaefer beer. It's real beer. Last of the third, Simole, Vallow, Hodges. Back to the action, here's Al.
Gino Simole coming up to the plate. He had a single back up the middle. A scratcher in the first inning. As one of the 3 hits given up by Ray Crone, who a moment ago had himself behind, now he's out in front. The Giants lead at 2-1 as we move to the bottom of the third inning. Ray Crone, the Tennessee right-hander. Almy Thomas, his battery mate behind the plate, has the mid up as a target now, and Simole hitting right-handed is waiting. An overhand fastball, pushed in there low, ball 1. Curveball is swung on and laced out into center field. In for a base hit. Simole is on. Mays has the ball get away from him. Simole breaks. He's going for second, slides, and he's there. Willie Mays sort of lackadaisically trying to pick up that ball out in center field. Had it stood away from him, he'll be charged with an error. Simole gets a single to center and advances on Willie Mays' error. Simole is on at second base with a tying run. And coming up to the plate now will be Elmer Vallow. Elmer hitting left left-handed. Crone serves up there, and Elmer after it sends a bounding ball to second base. O'Connell waits for it to come to him, makes his play to first to get his man, and Tamoli moves over to third base. Gil Hodges, the batter. Now the tying run at third can be scored on a sacrifice fly. In the first inning, Hodges drilled one deep to center field. Willie Mays backed up near the board to take it away from him. So Hodges is 0 for 1. In the last 24 games, Gil Hodges has 24 runs batted in. And in Chicago, as most of you know by this time, Gil unloaded his 13th bases-loaded home run in his career to lead the National League in that department. Crone delivers to him, and Hodges takes the slow curve downstairs for ball one. Tying run at third. The Giants lead at 2-1. Dino Tamoli, who can fly, moves off third, and Jablonski plays behind the bag and pulls close to the line, as figured Hodges is pretty much of a pull hitter. Crone delivers outside and low. 2 balls, no strikes to Hodges. We're in the last half of the third inning at Ebbets Field. Tamoli opened with a single to center, and when the ball got away from Willie Mays, just slightly, Tamoli hardly broke stride. He just kept right on going, moved into second on the error. He's been moved over to third base now on Vallow's ground out. That's how we stand right at this moment. Crone ready. Delivers 2-0. Slow curve is swung on and dribbled up the third baseline foul. Billy Herman's fielding it, fires it back to the Dodger bench. New ball's put in play now. The plate umpire Corey. 2 balls, 1 strike is the count on Gil Hodges. Carl Furillo up there to follow. John infield, playing back at fielding depth. With the exception of Gale Harris, our first baseman. He's playing up ahead of the base path off the first base line. Now the pitch to Hodges on the 2-1 count. Crone cuts it loose, an overhand fastball. Hodges rips it down to Jablonski, who makes a nice diving stop. His play will go to first base. It's into the dirt. The run comes in to score, and Hodges is safe at first on the low throw. However, it'll go as a base hit. Jablonski did mighty well to keep that ball from going into left field. He dived out to his left and went right down on his side to grab that ball right off the dirt top. Tamoli, digging, came in to tie it all up, and Hodges is on at first base. I'll give Gil the RBI, makes him a total now of 64 runs batted in. So the error has figured very prominently here in the third inning, allowing the Dodgers to tie up the ball game. With 1 out and a runner at first, Carl Furillo, who hit one off the third base bag for a single back in the second inning, is coming along. Batting at .272. Thrown to the stretch in a tie ball game. Looks at first, delivers a plate. Furillo takes the curve over at the knees for strike 1. Checks up at first with the runner Hodges, then delivers the plate. Furillo, after the pitch, fouls it back to the screen. Strike 2 on Carl. For Brooklyn, 2 runs, 5 hits, 1 error, and for the New York Giants, 2 runs and 4 hits. They have 1 error. It's Crone against Drysdale tonight here at Ebbets Field. This afternoon, Cleveland defeated the Yankees 7-2. Nothing is going tonight. This is the only ball game. There's action going now in the bullpen for the Giants as Red Worthington gets up and starts to throw again. Down comes the pitch. Fastball right under the chin to Furillo. That was close. Ooh, that was close. Well, had to hit the dirt. That was no slow, easy, goose-em-up pitch either. That ball was coming. The count on Furillo now is a ball and 2 strikes. 1 out, 1 on here in the third inning. Tied up ball game, 2 apiece. Hodges, the possible tie-breaking run at first base. Crone is all ready now. Peers down to get his sign from Valmy Thomas. Looks at first. Throws to the plate. Furlow after it hits the ball foul off the first base side to the second tier. Count stays right on to the ball and 2 strikes on right fielder Carl Furillo. The big hole in the Giant outer defense is up the alley in right center. Mays playing over on the third base side of second as you look out from behind home plate. Dusty Rose playing in front of the Schaefer scoreboard in right. Thrown ready. Delivers soft curve and Furlow fouls it away, and it hits the hand of Valmy Thomas, I believe. He's bare meat hand, but he's going to be all right. 1 ball, 2 strike count on Furillo. Corey asking Thomas if he's all right. Valmy put a spitz on his hand and said, yeah, I'm ready. Then starts to walk out slowly toward pitcher's mound, flexing the fingers in his right hand. Well, Thomas and Crone will have a short conference, mainly to give the catcher a chance to get some feeling back into a numbed right hand. Give you just enough time, too, to scoot right out into the kitchen, open the refrigerator door, and get you that Schaefer quart, huh? Oh, yeah, that's a good idea. Now the 1-2 delivery. Crone gets his sign. Rogers leads away from first. The 1-2 pitch to Furillo. Curveball in there for called strike 3. Carl checked up and took it. Pops up with his third strikeout tonight. Struck out Vallow, struck out Drysdale, now has gotten Furillo. Now with 2 out, and Hodges at first base representing the tie-breaking run for Campanella, who singled. And the second inning is coming up. Campy batting at .236. Campanella over and delivers to him. Low and outside for ball 1. Hodges dancing around at first base, has Gale Harris on the move with him. 1 ball, no strike count on Campanella. Last half of the 3rd inning. 2 down, 1 on. 1 run has been scored. It's all tied here at 2-2. The Dodgers at bat. Thrown on the mound for the Giants. Delivers. Campanella takes. Low outside. Throw to first base on the pitch out. It's not in time. Count is 2 balls and no strikes on Campanella. Campy moves that bat around easily. Crone delivers to him. Campy after it hits the ball to third base. Jablonski down, up with it. Goes to second base to O'Connell for the force on Hodges. That retires aside in the 3rd inning. 5 and 4 put out if you're scoring it with us. 1 run for Brooklyn in the inning. There were 2 base hits, there was 1 error, and there was a man left on. So the score at the end of 3 innings of play. It's Brooklyn 2 and the Giants have 2.
Light up, lucky, it's light up time. Be happy, go lucky, it's light up time. For the taste that you like, light up a lucky strike. You'll say it's the best tasting cigarette you ever smoked.
Darrell Spencer will be the batter coming up for the New York Giants here in the top of the 4th. He's 0 for 1, he's flied to center. Drysdale cranks up, fires in. Spencer, right-hand hitter, takes the low curveball for 1. Drysdale right back to Spencer. Side armor, slammed into center field for a base hit. Somali waits for it to come to him, and Spencer is on with a single. Now each side has 2 runs on 5 hits and an error. The batter coming up to the plate. Dusty Rose. He came up there in the second inning and walked. Batting at 209. Left-hand hitter. He's after the first pitch and rifles it over first base, and it curves foul down the right field line. No balls, one strike on Dusty. Darrell Spencer off running on the blow. Has come back first. Tomorrow night, right here at Ebbets Field, the second of the 4 night games to be played between these two clubs. Pitch swung on, hit out to left field. Elmer Vallow comes up about midway and left, is under it. An easy chance for Elmer, and he squeezes it. So we have the first out in the top of the 4th inning. Spencer remains at first base, and coming up to the plate is Valmy Thomas. The Giant catcher in the second inning lined one, a little looping liner, to second baseman Jim Gilliam. Thomas is batting at 240. Little guy generates a surprising amount of power. Pitch to him is over at the knees for strike one. No balls, one strike. Count on Valmy Thomas. A check of the runner at first. Sidearm fastball. Comes in about hip high on the inside. 1 ball, 1 strike on Thomas. All tied here in the top of the 4th at 2-2. Drysdale looks back at Spencer leading off at first base and delivers another sidearm curve. This one swung on by Thomas and missed. Lashed out at a great big curveball. Way out off the end of his bat. 1 ball, 2 strike count on the Giant catcher. Spencer moving away from first. Drysdale sidearm curveball swung on a miss, strike 3. Well, that's it for Thomas. And before we have the next batter up there, let's pause for station identification. This is the Brooklyn Dodgers Radio Network.
Dial 1460 WOKO Albany, New York. WOKO, the Capital District's most talked about station, with downtown studios in the Hotel Wellington. It's 1 minute before 9 o'clock.
Pitcher Ray Crone up at the plate. He bounced out to the second baseman, Jim Gilliam, in the second inning. He's 0 for 1 tonight. Drysdale comes into him with a fastball, slides in off the thighs for ball 1. Spencer, who opened with a single to center field, still riding off at first base. Drysdale pitches. That's good at the waist for a strike. 1 ball and 1 strike count on Ray Crone. 2 outs, 1 on. Top of the 4th inning, the Giants at bat, the score tied at 2-2. Between the 3rd place Brooklyn Dodgers and the 6th place New York Giants. Brooklyn tonight going into the ball game 3 games off the pace, being set in the National League by St. Louis. Milwaukee in second half came behind, and Brooklyn comes up with 3 behind. Then comes Cincinnati, 4.5. Sidearm fastball has the hitter tied up, drives Crone out of there. Ball 2. That's the count on Ray Crone. Right-hand hitter, widespread stance. Drysdale checks his runner, Spencer, at first. Delivers the sidearm fastball, and that's a little bit low. Count on Crone now is 3-1. Drysdale has got behind now to his opposing moundsman. About to deliver 3-1 on Ray Crone. Down comes that pitch. Low outside, ball 4. Crone walks. That moves Spencer down to second base with 2 outs here in the top of the 4th inning. That's the second base on balls given up by Drysdale. Neal going out at the top of the batting order, and Danny O'Connell. Danny in the first inning tapped back to the mound for the first out of the ball game, and then came along in the third inning as the leadoff man in the inning. Wrapped a double to left center field, and then Willie Mays stepped up and hit a 2-run home run to give the Giants their 2 runs. So of the 5 hits Drysdale has given up, O'Connell has had 1, and Mays has had a pair of them. Runners at first and second, 2 down, top of the 4th inning. The Giants at bat and up in the bullpen for the Brooklyn Dodgers, tall right-hander Roger Craig. Campanella motioning 2 men are out. He holds up 2 fingers. Now Drysdale ready to pitch here to O'Connell. Delivers, O'Connell takes. The pitch is low. 1 ball, no strikes. Ball partially got away from Campanella. The runners did not break. Drysdale ready to go back to work now on the batsman, Danny O'Connell. Ray Crone, the pitcher, leading away at first. Spencer, the shortstop, leading off at second base. They're the Giant runners. Drysdale's sidearm fastball is taken at the knees for a strike. 1 ball, 1 strike count on Danny O'Connell, starting the 3rd batting go-round for New York. All tied 2-2. Each side 2 runs, 5 hits. Each side has committed an error. Drysdale ready to work. Now delivers 1-1. Pitch is swung on. Hit down to shortstop. Neal up with it. Flips over to Gilliam for the forced out on Crone, coming into second base, and up retires the side. In the 4th for the Giants, no runs, 1 hit. Coupled with a walk, left 2 men on. There were no errors. And the score at the end of 3 1/2 innings of play remains the Giants 2. The Brooklyn Dodgers have 2. How's the supply of Schaefer? You got plenty on ice? You got some more in the cupboard? For when that beer on ice disappears? Well, you better make sure there's plenty, and then maybe get an extra 6-pack or 2 anyway. Because one thing's as sure as sunrise. If there's Schaefer beer in your house, it's bound to disappear at a regular rate. Sure, once a guy discovers the wonderful flavor of Schaefer, the way his taste buds perk up at the taste of it, and the way his eyes tell him that he's in for real enjoyment just at the sight of it, well, that's all. Like I said, it disappears. So you'd better get some Schaefer today. It's real beer. Now to the last half of the 4th inning. Jackson, Neal, Drysdale to face Ray Crone. Back to the play. Here's Al. Randy Jackson making his 2nd appearance of the night. Came up in the 2nd inning, his first time, and rolled out to shortstop. And when he did so, he advanced 2 runners on the bases at that time, and one of them was later scored. Randy Jackson hitting right-handed, batting at 247. Ray Crone working the mound tonight for the Giants, all tied up in a pitching duel with Don Drysdale. The Giants have 2 runs, 5 hits, and an error, and the Brooklyn Dodgers 2 runs, 5 hits, and 1 error. 2-2 going into the last half of inning number 4. The Giants runs came in the 3rd when after O'Connell had doubled, Mays hammered a home run to center field. Scored the 2 Giant runs. Pitched the plate to Jackson low and outside to the dirt for ball 1. The Dodgers scored 1 run in the 2nd inning and 1 in the 3rd. Set to work. Now delivers to Jackson on the 1-0 count. Fastball is dribbled away foul. One ball and 1 strike on Jackson. Randy will be followed by Charlie Neal and then by Don Drysdale. Randy looking for his 24th base hit of the year. Crone ready. 1-1's the plate, and Jackson swings on a high curveball and pops it back foul. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Crone already. Jackson moves that bat around. Now the 1-2 pitch to Randy Jackson. Overhand fastball. Randy swings and misses, strike 3. Crone hangs up another strikeout. That'll be 4th. Charlie Neal, the batter. Came up in the 2nd inning and was the base runner on the fielder's choice that allowed Carl Furillo came in to score. Gino Cimoli in the 3rd inning scored the other run for the Dodgers. The pitch to Charlie Neal. Curveball slammed back to the screen foul. Strike 1. Charlie Neal batting at .268. Thrown already with a new ball. Pass Thomas again for the sign and gets it. Now delivers 0-1. Pitch is low and outside. 1 ball and 1 strike. Neal with 8 home runs and 33 runs batted in. Slender right-hand hitter. Crone hiding that ball behind his back. Now starts his motion. His 1-1 delivery. An overhand curveball fouled off the hand of Valmy Thomas. That's the 2nd time that young fella's got one on the bare meat hand tonight. Starts to walk this one off. 1 ball, 2 strike count on Charlie Neal with 1 out here in the bottom of the 4th inning and no base runners. Score tied at 2-2. 2 runs, 5 hits, 1 error each side. The Giants came from behind to lead it in the 3rd inning after the Dodgers had scored in the 2nd, 1 run. O'Connell doubled to left center. Mays hammered one into the center field bleachers for a home run, his 25th of the year. Then the Dodgers came back to tie the ball game in the 3rd inning when after Cimoli had singled up the middle and took 2nd on Willie Mays' error. Moved over to 3rd on a ground out. He was scored when Hodges had a single. Pitch was swung on. Ripped back foul. The count is a ball and 2 strikes now on Charlie Neal. Now the 1-2 delivery. Neal pumping the bat. Crone lets him cool out a little bit. Peers around, sort of like looking around the corner for the sign. Now the 1-2 pitch. Overhand fastball. Neal takes it on the corner, called strike 3. Oh, that's the 5th strikeout. Ray Crone. The batter coming up now will be Drysdale. Don struck out in the 2nd inning. He was the 2nd strikeout of the evening for Crone. He'd gotten Vallow in the 1st inning. Drysdale moving along. The F&M Schaefer Brewing Company, Brooklyn, very happy to be shipping it your way from Ebbets Field tonight. Hope you're enjoying America's oldest lager beer. Schaefer, it's real beer. Thrown ready. Delivers. Drysdale looks at it and it cost him. That's in for a strike. Back. Big curveball. Drysdale waves at that one, doesn't get it. That's strike 2. Crone sets with Valmy Thomas on the sign for the 0-2 delivery to Drysdale. Tracks it in there. 1 on a miss. Strike 3. So Drysdale up twice, strikes out twice. And that's the 6th strikeout for Crone. He strikes out the side in the 4th inning. Well, there's nothing in class for Brooklyn in the 4th. And the score at the end of 4 full innings of play. New York 2 runs, 5 hits, 1 error. Brooklyn 2 runs, 5 hits, and 1 error. Well, have you seen the 1957 edition of the Dodger Yearbook? It's a dandy. 48 pages of anecdotes, stories, pictures, and records of the Dodgers. And that terrific Willard Mullen cartoon on the cover. And have you seen the brand new Schaefer Lucky Strike Baseball Guide and Record book? Man, it's just crammed full of information. All-time records, complete rosters of all the major league teams, diagrams of the ballparks, a radio TV directory for every club, a fine piece on Pee Wee Reese, and also Emmett Kelly. Boy, this is some book. Well, listen to this. Both these fine books can be yours for only 50 cents. That's what I said. Both the 1957 Dodger Yearbook and the brand new Schaefer Lucky Strike Baseball Guide and Record book can be yours for just $50. Now, here's how to get yours. Send 50 cents along with your name and address to Dodger Baseball Books, Box 119, Brooklyn, New York. That's Dodger Baseball Books, Box 119, Brooklyn, New York. Yes, sir, the biggest bargain of the year and the finest in the Baseball Reading League. It's a fine gift for that youngster of yours, too. And remember, this offer is being made for a limited time only. So order yours today.
Now we move into the fifth inning, and Willie Mays is the man up to the plate for the New York Giants. Takes Drysdale pitch out stride for ball one. After the next pitch, and he lines it out to left field. Elmer Vallow comes in for it and loses that ball, and it bounces up over his head. Up against the wall it goes, and Willie Mays finds himself at first base. A low line drive that seemed to take off as Elmer Vallow came in for it. Willie Mays opens the fifth inning with a single to left field. That's at number 6 off Drysdale. Jablonski, the batter now. Drysdale checks his runner, Mays, and whistles one over there to keep Mays close. Sidearm fastball, and Jablonski takes it in there for the strike. Top of the fifth inning. New York 2, Brooklyn 2. And the Giants trying to crack it open here in the fifth inning. Mays leads off at first. Drysdale throws over there to keep him close again. Willie Mays, who has stolen 30 bases this year, is always a threat to move, and the pitchers are very conscious of the fact of this when he's on. Drysdale works the plate. Jablonski swings. It's a little handled blooper back at second base. It's grabbed by Gilliam, and Mays scurries back to first base. At the top of the fifth, one on, and the batter coming up to the plate is left-hand batting Gale Harris, filling in at first base for the ailing Whitey Lockman. Drysdale ready to pitch now to Harris. Looks at Willie Mays. Delivers that sidearm fastball, and Harris dribbles it foul up the first base line. They strike one on Gale. Harris has been up twice tonight. He's gone 0 for 2. Kept back to the mound when he came up in his first time at bat in the first inning, and then in the third, he struck out. Drysdale once more checking up on Willie Mays at first base. Delivers 0-1 to Harris. It's pitch out. Willie wasn't going. So they wasted one trying to figure on Willie. But he crossed them up. 1 ball, 1 strike is the count on Gale Harris. Drysdale, after having shaken off the sign, accepts the next one. Pitches. It's swung on by Harris and Mays. Strike 2. Mays holding on tight there at first base. All game all tied at 2-2. Now the 1-2 delivery on Harris. Drysdale with the checker first, decides to throw over there, and Mays just hops back in ahead of it. Waiting with this little byplay. Let's let us up a lucky, huh? Oh, that's it. Sidearm
arm fastball hit right back to the mound. Drysdale goes back to Neal at second for one. The throw to first, double play. So the first double play of the ball game is recorded tonight. Drysdale to Neal and on to Hud. Well, they get him here in the top half of the fifth inning on the double play. And that'll ship off 1,000 luckies to our VA hospital at Montrose, New York. Happy smoking, fellas. There'll be more coming. In the fifth, no runs, one hit. No errors, nobody left on. Score at the end of 4.5 innings of play now. The Giants 2 and the Dodgers 2.
We will continue this game on the next cassette.
Well, if you have your lucky going, we're going into the bottom of the fifth inning of a 2-2 tie. Jim Gilliam, the batter, and right back to Al.
Jim Gilliam's 0 for 2 tonight, facing Ray Crone. Gilliam batting a 2-4-6 in a 2-2 tie. Crone is ready, starts his motion. Delivers the plate, and Gilliam watches it sail in there for strike one. Off from the curveball, slides in, across the knees inside for ball one. 1 ball and 1 strike. Ray Crone in the fourth inning struck out the last third of the batting order. Struck him out in order. Now in the fifth, he's going to work on Gilliam. The 1-1 count to Jim. He runs up on the next pitch, bluffs the bunt, and takes the pitch high for ball 2. 2 balls and 1 strike. Kicked up, blowing out toward right field. Stiff enough to help fly balls hit out toward Bedford Avenue. Jim's a left-hand hitter. Switch hitter, but right now hitting left-handed. So he'll be hitting into that wind. Slices the pitch foul down the left field side. Getting ready. Wind's picking up pretty well. As the button stands straight out from the flagpoles now. Crone delivers the fastball, and Gilliam backs off and takes it across the shoe top. That's ball 3. Full count now to Gilliam, 3 balls and 2 strikes. We're in the last half of the fifth inning. This is the first Dodger up. The score is tied at 2-2. Gilliam will be followed by Somoli and then by Elmer Vallow. 3-2 pitch. Laced foul just outside third. Crone appears to be rather fast this evening. Gilliam usually able to get around on the pitch pretty well, has fouled several off past third base. It's an indication he's getting around a little late on that fastball. Now for the 3-2 delivery. Crone works it in there, and Gilliam backs off and takes it inside, ball 4. That's first base on balls given up by Crone tonight. Drysdale has passed out a pair. The batter is Gino Somoli. He's been up twice. He's singled twice, 2 for 2. Hitting a 307. Danny O'Connell's called for time and moves in to have a talk with Ray Crone. Valmy Thomas is going to get into it now, along with first baseman Gail Harris. Only one other ball game played in the majors today. That was a Cleveland victory over the New York Yankees. Final score there was 7-2. Cleveland 7 runs, 8 hits, 1 error. Garcia, the pitcher. Yankees 2 runs, 9 hits, 1 error. Larson. Woodling had a home run in the 9th with 2 on, his 10th of the year for Cleveland. Pitch to Somoli. Curveball swung on by Gino and missed for strike 1. Great big roundhouse affair. Gilliam at first, having walked. Harris holds the corner on him. Here in the bottom of the fifth, the Dodgers at bat. 1 on, nobody out. 2-2 tie. And there'll be more coming at you for the next 3 nights. Same 2 ball clubs. Crone delivers. Pitch out, a throw to first is not in time. I figured that Jim might be moving. 1 ball, 1 strike is the count now on Samoli, who looks around at third now to get a sign to see what may be in the wind for this one. 2-2 the score. Gilliam hands on hip, strides away from first. Crone checks up with him, then delivers the plate. Samoli takes another pitch out. There's no throw to first. Count is 2 balls, 1 strike. Thomas down to pump his sign now for Ray Crone. Now Ray's ready. 2-1 pitch. Gilliam bluffs going. The pitch is low and outside. Ball 3. Now Samoli has things going his way on a 3-1 count. We'll keep an eye on Gilliam to see what the MGR man might have ordered in this particular spot. 1 on in the bottom of the 5th. Nobody out. Score tied at 2 apiece. 3rd place Dodgers. The 6th place Giants. Now the 3-1 pitch. An overhand fastball. Swung on a miss as the runner breaks. The throw is down to second, not in time, and Gilliam steals it. I'll give Jim a stolen base. That'll be the Dodgers' 38th of the year, and for Gilliam, his 16th. 16 steals for Gilliam. He stands at second base now in better scoring position. With one out here with nobody out here in the last of the 5th inning. Count is 3-2 on Gino Samoli. Gino playing in center field tonight in place of Duke Snyder, whose trick knee is kicking up on him again. Samoli ready. 3-2 pitch to him by Crone. It's a curveball fouled away upstairs off the first base side. 3 balls and 2 strikes. Sign now from Valmy Thomas. Gilliam steps away from second. Now the 3-2 delivery on Gino Samoli. In it comes. Gino after it. It's a long fly ball deep to left center field. There's a well-hit apple. Willie Mays running along the base of the wall. Makes the catch. Gilliam tags up. Here comes the throw. The third. Not nearly in time. Gilliam makes it. A long drive deep to left center field. And Willie Mays snatched it right at the base of the wall. Oh, Samoli is out. Nice running catch by Willie Mays. That moves Jim Gilliam down to third base, where he can be scored now on a fly ball. Elmer Vallow coming up. Elmer has struck out, and he's rolled out to the right side, being thrown out by second baseman Danny O'Connell. Vallow batting at 3:18. All tied here in the bottom of the 5th inning at 2-2, and the Dodgers threatening to pick up the lead again. Red Worthington gets up and starts to throw down the John bullpen once more. Elmer Vallow, solidly put together left-hand hitter. Infield playing up tight. Pitch is made. Vallow after it. Bounces one down to second. O'Connell high in the air. Cannot make a play to the plate as Gilliam comes to score, but he does make his play first where they get Elmer Vallow. Well, the Dodgers pick up the lead. Elmer Vallow gets credit for the run batted in. The Dodgers out in front now, 3-2. High bounding ball back to second base. 2 down, the bases clean, the bottom of the 5th inning. The Dodgers lead it, and Hodges coming up. Gill is fly to center, and he singled to third base. Has driven in 1 run. Run ready to work. Delivers to the right-hand hitter, and the pitch is over at the knees for strike 1. Gill batting at 3:04. Strong in his pumping motion. Kicks and throws. curve is low, outside into the dirt, and gets away from Thomas. 1 ball and 1 strike. Worthington continues to throw down in the Giant bullpen. We're in the bottom of the 5th. Brooklyn out in front. 3 runs, 5 hits. New York 2 runs, 6 hits. Scoring opportunity came in the 5th inning when Gilliam walked, stole second, took third as Samoli flied to center field, and then came in to score on a ground out. Curveball is outside to Hodges. Scout is 2 balls, 1 strike. Off of the 2-1 delivery. Crone cuts it loose. Hodges after it. It's a high fly ball into center field. It's an easy chance for Willie Mays. It pounds the mitt, comes in, makes the catch. That's all for the Dodgers in the 5th inning. 1 run on no base hits. There were no errors. There was nobody left on. So the score at the end of 5 full innings of play, it is Brooklyn 3 runs on 5 hits, 1 error, and the visiting Giants 2 runs, 6 hits, and 1 error.
You know, after 9 innings of hustling out there on the ball field, a player kind of likes to sit back a while and relax. Well, I guess you'd go for some of the same after you've been working at the job or around the house, huh? Well, let me tell you, to really enjoy relaxing, you put a cool glass of Schaefer beer in your hand. Talk about pleasure? Man, that's it. A glass of golden amber Schaefer, tall and cool, topped off with a snowy white crown of foam. Why, it even looks relaxing. And when it comes to flavor, Schaefer's got it. The wonderful light and dusty flavor you want, but don't always find. You see, Schaefer is brewed only of rich barley malt, tangy hops, and other fine natural ingredients. So next time you're in the mood for some really enjoyable relaxing, do it with Schaefer beer. It's real beer.
Now we'll move into the top half of the 6th inning here with Hank Sauer coming up for the Giants and stepping up to the microphone for Lucky Strike, Vin Scully.
Thank you, Al. Hi, everybody. Hank Sauer doubled and bounced out. Hank hitting .251. Takes a curveball in the dirt. Ball 1. 6th inning, Dodgers 3 runs and the Giants 2. The difference thus far, that big steal of second base by Gilliam, going to third on a fly ball and scoring on the infield out. Sauer, Spencer, and Rhodes the way the Giants bat here in the 6th. Drysdale checking signed with Campanella. Now he's ready. The 1-0 pitch to Sauer. High fastball, ball 2. 2-0. This is the first of a 4-game series, all games being played at night. Tomorrow night, Johnny Padres or Roger Craig against Kurt Barkley. Wednesday night at Jersey City. The 2-0 pitch to Hank Sauer, fastball for a strike, 2-1. That Jersey City ball game shapes up in advance to be a beauty. Johnny Antonelli going for New York, Don Newcomb for Brooklyn. The last time they pitched over there, you remember, the Giants and Antonelli won 1-0. Curveball in and over for the second strike, 2-2. Then to wrap it up Thursday night, right back here at Ebbets Field again, Ruben Gomez pitching for the Giants. 2-2 to Hank Sauer, first man up in the 6th inning. Brooklyn 3, Giants 2. Sauer has a pitch hit his bat, and the count remains 2-2. Don Drysdale and Ray Crone battling this one out. Drysdale ready on the 2-2 pitch. Curveball got him swinging. So Sauer goes down. Drysdale picking up a couple of strikeouts, but he's trailing Crone, who has 6 thus far. 3 strikeouts for Don Drysdale now, and the batter is Darrell Spencer. Slide to center, single to center, hitting .272. Drysdale works to Spencer. Sidearm fastball, cut on and foul tipped, 0-1. Have good news for you if you missed this ball game and wondering about tomorrow night. Kurt Barkley and either Padres or Craig. There are 20,000 seats just waiting to be picked up for tomorrow night's game. Strike one pitch, curveball on the corner, strike two. 0-2. On deck, Dusty Rhodes. So make your plans to spend some time with us tomorrow night here in Brooklyn, Wednesday night over at Jersey City, or Thursday night right back here at Ebbets Field. Good ball games, Giants and the Dodgers. Drysdale delivers 0-2. Sharp curve, hit slowly wide to third. Jackson over to Glovett. Sidearms a throw to Hodges, and we have two out. Need a station break, so we'll duck it in right now. This is the Brooklyn Dodgers Radio Network.
Tomorrow afternoon from 1 to 4, Dean Hunter plays the top hit recordings on the record band.
Dial 1460 WOKO Albany, the Capital District's most talked about station, with downtown studios in the Hotel Wellington. It's 9:33.
Dusty Rhodes, the batter. He has walked and flied to left, hitting 208. Sidearm fastball, dribbles foul outside of first. 0-1. Retrieved by Tommy Henrik, who left-handed back to the mound. 10th meeting between the two clubs. The Dodgers have taken 6 of 9, and 3 out of 4 played here at Ebbets Field. 0-1 to Dusty Rhodes. 2 out in the 6th. 3-2 Brooklyn. Drysdale delivers 0-1. Fastball too low. 1 ball, 1 strike. Outfield on Dusty, around towards right. A gap in left center. Drysdale delivers 1-1. A changeup and a little high with it. Ball 2. 2-1. Checks his signs. Now the 2-1 pitch to Rhodes. Fastball, foul tip, 2-2. The 2-2 pitch to Dusty Rhodes. Curveball, a little looper, and it'll drop in for a base hit as Jim just tried to check his swing and looped it into left. Charlie Neal running back to retrieve it. So with 2 out, Rhodes checks his swing on a curve and loops a single to left field. So Jim 1 for 2, hit number 7 off Drysdale, and the batter, Valmy Thomas, who popped up and struck out. The catcher 0 for 2, batting .238. 2 out on the 6th, 3-2 Brooklyn. Drysdale turns on the rubber, now set. He checks the peak at Rhodes, a fastball that Thomas has cut out and missed for a strike. 0-1. Dodgers were home very early last night, flying back from Milwaukee. And that's the same story for the Giants. They didn't leave Cincinnati till 11 o'clock our time. Strike one pitch is fouled away. 0-2. They had a long doubleheader. 0-2, the count to Valmy Thomas. Dusty Rhodes at first base. 3-2 Brooklyn. 6th inning. Marv Grissom begins to loosen up a bit now in the Giant bullpen. Drysdale delivers 0-2, and the curve is outside and low. Ball 1. 1-2. Set. The 1-2 pitch, sharp curve, bounced down to Charlie Neal. Up with it cleanly, goes the short way, and that does it. They get the force on Rhodes. In the 6th inning for the Giants, no runs ahead, a man left on. There were no Dodger errors. And at the end of 5.5 innings of play, Brooklyn 3, the Giants 2. And just like that.
we go to the last half of inning number 6. Furlow, Campanella, and Jackson coming up in that order. Let's get right back to Vince.
Furlow had a fine Western trip. He had 9 hits in his last 4 ball games on the road, and he's 1 for 2 tonight. Singled off the bag at third in the second inning and eventually came around to score. Carr batting .271. Furlow, Campanella, and Jackson, bottom of the 6th inning, 3-2 Brooklyn. Seeing Carl comes up with the plate reminds us to remind you. Carl Furlow night, August the 28th. Looks down now to get a sign, and Furlow settling in the hitter's box. Time calls for a moment. Now he's in. Cone goes to his windup. Furlow waiting, and the pitch, the overhand curve, outside. Ball 1. 1-0. This will probably be Cone's last inning of work. He's due to bat first when the Giants hit in the 7th. Comes back 1-0 to Furlow, and the fastball is cut on and missed. 1-1. Found out a quaint custom while we were in Milwaukee the other day, and for a moment we thought there was another Ebbets Field. And we thought it was in Milwaukee until we found out the story on it. It's a popular ballpark. The 1-1 pitch to Furlow. Fastball taken low and inside. Ball 2. 2-1. You know, a dispatcher talks over the radio to the cabs. We heard a dispatcher telling a cab to report to a certain address and pick up some customers and bring them to Ebbets Field. And we figured, boy, that'll be a nice tab on the meter. Then we found out that particular dispatcher refers to County Stadium in Milwaukee by the name of the ballpark of the visiting club. Fastball, a hot one, stabbed by Jablonski, who turns and makes his play. So Furlow robbed of the base hit here at Ebbets Field in Brooklyn. 1 up, 1 away. Roy Campanella is 1 for 2. Had himself a billiard shot, I guess, in the second inning. Hit one off Jablonski's glove over to Spencer, who threw high off Danny O'Connell's glove, trying to get a force. Campy, given a base hit, is batting .235. On deck, Randy Jackson. 6th inning, 3-2 Brooklyn. Ray Cone, Don Drysdale. Time call. Campanella whacks at his spikes. Now Ray's ready. And delivers. Fastball low, ball 1. Going back again, 1-0 to Campanella, and the fastball low and away, ball 2, 2-0. Dodgers 3 runs on 5 hits, 1 error. The Giants 2 runs, 7 hits, 1 error. Now Ray ready. Hesitates for a moment, delivers 2-0, and the curve is cut on and missed. 2-1. Beginning of a big homestand for Brooklyn. Tonight through Thursday with the Giants. Wednesday night game at Roosevelt Stadium in Jersey City. Dodgers go away over the weekend to Pittsburgh. Come back to New York for a visit to the Polo Grounds, and then they really dig in back here at Brooklyn. 2 1-ers, a fastball cut on, a fly ball into shallow left center. Mays on the run, coming in and takes it. 2 down. So the Dodgers trying to pick up a half a game if they can tonight on the idle Cardinals. And the second place Braves trying to tighten up a little. Brooklyn went into this ball game trailing by 3. However, the Dodgers feel if they can just stay close, and then with the long homestand here at Brooklyn, the race will really be up for grabs. Well, time call for a moment. A youngster tired of sitting in his seat decides to run from left field through center over to right, and now back in the stands, and there'll be a park policeman ready to take him away. Buffet attendance, 15,070. 15070. Randy Jackson, the batter. 2 out in the 6th, 3-2 Brooklyn. Ray Crone delivers. Fastball for a strike. Randy batting 244. Tonight he has bounced out and struck out. Crone back again with a strike 1 pitch, and the fastball is taken low and inside. 1-1. Drysdale and Crone battling this one out. Crone just staring in. Now he's ready. Ray delivers 1-1. Curveball just outside. Jackson checks his swing. Ball 2. 2-1. The Dodgers with a lot of injuries that have been hurting their ball club a bit, and the Giants are without the services of Whitey Luckman. Here's a 2-1 pitch to Jackson. A curve outside. Ball 3. Whitey came up with an upset stomach, which might be a case of the virus. Whitey missed the last couple of games on the road, and he's not in uniform tonight. Jackson waiting, 3 balls, 1 strike. Crone goes to work, and the 3-1 pitch to Randy. Fastball on the corner, strike 2. So with 2 out, a full count to Randy Jackson. In the bottom of the 6th inning, Brooklyn 3, Giants 2. First game of a 4-game series, and we should have plenty of excitement before these two part come Thursday night. 3-2 pitch to Jackson. Fastball, bounced down to short. Darrell Spencer up with it cleanly, makes his play to Harris. Dodgers out in order 1-2-3. Crone has retired the last 6 men in a row, and at the end of 6 innings of play, the Dodgers 3 and the Giants 2.
How's the supply of Schaefer? You got plenty on ice? You got some more in the cupboard? For when that beer on ice disappears? Well, you better make sure there's plenty, and then maybe get an extra 6-pack or 2 anyway. Because one thing's as sure as sunrise. If there's Schaefer beer in your house, it's bound to disappear at a regular rate. Sure, once a guy discovers the wonderful flavor of Schaefer, the way his taste buds perk up at the taste of it, and the way his eyes tell him that he's in for real enjoyment just at the sight of it, well, that's all. Like I said, it disappears. So you'd better get some Schaefer today. It's real beer.
All right, Al. Ray Crone has bounced out and walked, batting .063. He has 2 hits this year. Right-hand batter, and Drysdale set to work to him. Don Wine starts him with a fastball, and there's a fly ball to right field. Thurlow right there, backs up a step or 2 and takes it for the out. 1 pitch, 1 out. Danny O'Connell as leadoff man, especially the way the Giant batting order is now listed with Willie Mays batting second. O'Connell is one of the more important batters in the league. Anybody hitting ahead of Mays, like Alvin Dark, is so important, with Stan Musial following. Well, O'Connell tonight has gotten on base once, and it paid off for New York. He doubled in the 3rd inning, and Mays followed and hit a home run into the bleachers. Danny batting .254. Drysdale delivers. Sharp curve down low. Ball 1. 1 out. Base is empty in the 7th. 3-2 Brooklyn. Randy Jackson tight to the bag at 3rd now. The 1-0 pitch is fastball. It's too low. Ball 2. Paid attendance 15,070. So he had plenty of seats for you tonight. Sorry you couldn't make it. Hope you make your plans to be with us tomorrow evening. There are 20,000 seats waiting to be picked up. 2-0 pitch, in for the strike. 2-1. Dodgers 3 runs on 5 hits and 1 error. Giants 2 runs, 7 hits, 1 error. Drysdale staring in. Now the 2-1 pitch. Sidearm fastball and a tapper right back to the mound. Drysdale throws him out. 2 down, and here's Willie Mays. having quite a night. Single to right, hit a 2-run home run in the third, and hit a line drive over Vallow's head for a base hit in the fifth. Mays batting .328, and the fastball is low and outside. Ball 1. On deck, Ray Jablonski. Mays and Jablonski had fine road trips for the Giants. Mays, in the words of Bill Rigney, slightly on the sensational side, especially in Cincinnati. The 1-0 pitch to Willie. Fastball spins him around, and down he goes. Ball 2. 2-0. Campanella slowing down Drysdale now. Holds his right hand up. 2 balls, no strikes. The count to Willie Mays. 2 out in the 7th inning. 3-2 Brooklyn. Drysdale ready, and the 2-0 pitch. A curveball hits the center field for a base hit. For Willie, his 4th hit. So Mays with a 2-run home run and 3 singles tonight. So Drysdale has given up 8 hits, and 4 of them collected by Mays. Willie now has 131 base hits. The batter, Ray Jablonski, was 0 for 3, batting .299. He has 6 home runs, 23 runs batted in. Willie leads the major leagues in stolen bases with 30, and with 2 out and his ball club trailing by 1, is a decided threat to go at first. Drysdale checking him, still staring, now delivers, and the fastball is fouled away, 0-1. Jablonski, the batter, on deck, Gale Harris. Hodges holding Mays to the bag. Drysdale turns now, looks over his left shoulder at Mays, who's kind of quiet now, and draws a throw. Dodgers perhaps figuring the lull before the storm. Willie jumps off the bag again, Drysdale watching him, and fires again, and Willie retreats. 0-1 the count to Ray Jablonski. 2 out in the 7th, 3-2 Brooklyn. Mays does not have too short a lead. Now he starts to increase a little more. It's not a daring lead as yet. Drysdale checks the strike 1 pitch, a high foul back of the plate, and out of play. Campanella colliding with plate umpire Frank Sikori, but he had no play anyway. 0-2 the count. Mays now checking the count, no balls and 2 strikes. He'll be extra wary for the Dodgers, conceivably in this spot, can call for a couple of pitch outs. We'll see. Willie inching off the bag again. Drysdale checks him. Now delivers a pitch out, but Willie stays right where he is. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Good ball game. We're in the 7th, 3-2 Brooklyn. Drysdale ready, and throws to first, and Mays gets back. The 1-2 pitch, curveball just inside, 2-2. So the deuce is up, 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 out on the 7th. 3-2 Brooklyn. Mays at first base. Drysdale backs off the rubber, goes to the rosin bag. Jablonski with a quiet bat, just waiting. Drysdale checks and throws to first again. In the Dodger bullpen, just about ready to limber up, is Clem Labine. Drysdale looks to first, now delivers, and the fastball is high, ball 3. So Drysdale has gone to a full count to Jablonski with 2 outs. Mays ready to go on the pitch. Jabbo waiting at the plate. Gale Harris on deck. Drysdale set. Checking Mays. There goes Willie, and the pitch cut on and foul back. Count remains 3 balls, 2 strikes. Quite a battle going on. Drysdale in the middle. He's trying to get Jablonski in at the same time. Keep an eye on Mays. When the Dodgers hit in the 7th, they'll have Neal, Drysdale, and Gilliam. Don shaking no to Campanella's signs. Now he's ready. Mays goes. The 3-2 is cut on. Hits a deep center. Samoli went in. Now goes away back and one-hands it. Going away. Jablonski hit a line drive to center. Samoli started to come in, and the ball took off. And Gino made a circle, and with his back to the plate, going to the wall, one-handed it, going away. For the Giants in the 7th, no runs, 1 hit. A man left on. Samoli getting a round of applause for his efforts. At the end of 6.5 innings of play, Brooklyn 3, the Giants 2.
Light up, Lucky. It's light up time. Be happy, go lucky, it's light up time. For the taste that you like, light up a Lucky Strike. You'll say it's the best tasting cigarette you ever smoked.
We move along now to the last half of inning number 7 as the Dodgers will send up Charlie Neal. Then comes the pitcher spot on Drysdale and Gilliam. So for more of the action, let's get back to Vince.
Well, Charlie Neal is hitting .267. Got on a fielder's choice in the 2nd inning on the play in the plate when Trillo scored. And he struck out in the 4th when Ray Cohn struck out the side. Neal, Drysdale, and Gilliam, bottom of the 7th, 3-2 Brooklyn. Labine, down in the Dodger bullpen, has stopped throwing. Ray Cohn delivers a curveball that's cut on and foul back. Out of play. 0-1. Brooklyn 3 runs on 5 hits and 1 error. The Giants 2 runs, 8 hits, and 1 error. The Dodgers know all about out-hitting another club. That thing yesterday at Milwaukee was something when they got 18 base hits and went down. The strike 1 pitch to Neal. Fastball in there, 0-2. Kicks to the dirt now, smoothing it off where his follow-through tears it up. 0-2 to Charlie Neal. Thrown ready, and Ray delivers 0-2, and a fastball is just outside. Ball 1. 1-2. Thrown has struck out 6 men tonight, striking out the side in the 4th. The 1-2 pitch to Charlie Neal. Fastball just inside. 2-2. Neal started off and checked the swing. Frank Sikori, the plate umpire. Stan Landis at first. Bill Baker at second. And Frank Dascoli at third. Neal waiting. 2-2. Ready, and the 2-2. Curveball hit the right field close to the line. Rhodes coming on, but it drops in for a base hit and bounces off the wall away from him. Neal goes to second, makes a turn, and holds there. Charlie Neal doubles to right field to open up the 7th inning. That is hit number 6 off Ray Cohn, and the first hit for Brooklyn since Hodges singled off Ray Jablonski's glove in the 3rd inning. Now a meeting at the mound with Don Drysdale to be the batter. The Giants might be figuring Drysdale to bunt, and they want to get their infield position set up. Ray Jablonski, second baseman Danny O'Connell, and first baseman Harris, along with pitcher Ray Cohn, talking things over. Marv Grissom up in the Giant bullpen. Now the meeting at the mound broken up. Drysdale tonight has struck out twice. He has 5 hits this year. Good for 2 home runs, 5 runs batted in. pitch to Drysdale. He does bunt and bunts it back foul. 0-1. Gail Harris coming to the plate on it. On that particular bunt, Drysdale had tipped it off. He had turned to face the pitcher. Jablonski not coming in, not even feinting coming in. He went right to the bag. Cincinnati has a variation on the bunt defense. Just occasionally, they'll have the first baseman remain in a normal depth and have the second baseman charge in. Giants working the conventional defense against the bunt right now. Drysdale around the bunt, and Cone steps off the rubber, driving Neal back to the bag. Jablonski about 5 feet off the bag at third, playing catty corner now. The pitch to Drysdale, pitch out, and there's no throw to second base. Spencer had cut in back of Neal, but Charlie was right near the bag. 1 ball and 1 strike. The count to Don Drysdale. Nobody out in the 7th inning. Neal at second. Dodgers 3, Giants 2. When the Giants bat in the 8th, they'll have Harris, Sauer, and Spencer. Ray Cone ready. Now the 1-1 pitch. Drysdale bunts, and it's a good one. The only play, if any, and it can't be made by Cone. Drysdale's bunt was so good that it pulled in third baseman Jablonski, so that you knew a sacrifice had to be worked. But it was in such a spot that Cone came down and hurriedly tried to field it and couldn't do it, and it goes as a base hit. So Drysdale really put down a beauty for a bunt single. Runners at first and third with nobody out. 7 hits for Brooklyn off Ray Cone, and the batter Jim Gilliam, who was 0 for 2. However, Junior has been a pivotal figure in the ballgame. In the 5th inning, he walked, stole second, advanced to third on a fly ball to center, and came in on an infield out. Junior hitting .246. Valmy Thomas out to the mound again to talk to Ray Cone. The Giant infield, the right side as of the moment, playing in. We'll see how they finally set themselves. Harris is playing just about even with the bag, and now they call in Darrell Spencer, so the entire infield is in tight. But Rigney had to get off the bench to get his shortstop's attention. Cone ready, checks his men and delivers, and the curve to Gilliam, low and outside. Ball 1. Giant infield in tight. Dodgers have runners at first and third with nobody out in the 7th. Brooklyn 3, Giants 2. Grissom in the bullpen. Cone delivers 1-0 to Gilliam. A fastball high. A bluff to third sends Charlie Neal back to the bag on his chest. Neal not taking any chances. 2-0. Cone set, checks his men, now delivers to Junior. Curveball, punch down to Spencer, who turns around and goes to O'Connell for the tag on Drysdale, and the run is scored by Neal. Drysdale arguing that he was already at the bag. It was quite a surprising play with the infield up. The ball was hit maybe just 2 strides to Spencer's left, and I guess Neal figured they would certainly go to the plate. But Spencer hesitated, and in his hesitant move towards the plate, he almost conned Danny O'Connell out of the play. Meanwhile, Drysdale sliding into second, and when Spencer whirled and threw to O'Connell, like a startled deer out there, Danny grabbed the ball and quickly stepped on the bag just ahead of Drysdale. Well, Drysdale gets a round of applause. Walter Alston out there to get him off before he gets too hot. But Gilliam hits into a 4th play with the infield drawn up, 6-4. Neal carries over a big run. The Dodgers now lead 4-2. Gilliam safely on at first. The batter, Gino Cimoli. Cimoli is 2 for 3, hitting .306. Made a fine defensive play to rob Jablonski in the 7th inning. Cone delivers, and the curve cut on and missed. Cimoli going all the way around. 0-1. Brooklyn 4, Giants 2, bottom of the 7th inning. Gilliam held on by Gale Harris. Strike one pitch by Crone. A fastball inside sends Samoli jumping away. 1 ball, 1 strike. 4-2 Brooklyn, 1 out in the 7th. We'll get a station break in after Samoli's that turn. One and one. Crone delivers, fastball in there at the knees, strike 2. 1-2. The count to Gino Samoli. Gilliam inching off the bag at first. He has a short lead at the moment. Now increases it a bit. Crone delivers 1 and 2. The curve is outside. Samoli started off and checked. 2 and 2. Brooklyn 4 runs, 7 hits, and 1 error. The Giants 2 runs, 8 hits, 1 error. Looks in to get a sign from Valmy Thomas. Now he's ready. Looks to Gilliam. Junior goes. The 2-2 is a curve outside, and Thomas drops the ball in his anxiety to throw hurriedly at second. Valmy Thomas grabbed the ball and twisted sideways to get off a throw and dropped the ball. Stolen base for Gilliam. 17 steals for Gilliam. He's stolen 2 bases tonight. 3 and 2, the count to Samoli. 4-2 Brooklyn in the 7th, 1 away. Crone looks back at second, delivers a curve that's cut on and fouled away. Count remains 3 and 2. Hope you make your plans to catch 1 or 2 ball games if you can of this Giant Dodger series. Tomorrow night, right back here at Ebbets Field. Kurt Barkley for New York, either Johnny Padres or Roger Craig for Brooklyn. Wednesday night we'll be over at Roosevelt Stadium in Jersey City, and that should be a beauty. Johnny Antonelli and Don Newcomb. Then on Thursday night, to wrap things up, we'll be right back here at Brooklyn. When was the last time you were out at Ebbets Field? Been out here this year? Come on out. 3-2 pitch to Samoli. Fastball, foul back. Count remains 3 and 2. Lucky Strike blowing smoke rings to you in the cool of the evening from Ebbets Field in Brooklyn. A light breeze slanting over towards the right field corner from the back of the left field stand. Crone staring in. Gilliam coming away off second. Now, Ray Crone is ready. 3-2 pitch. Curveball cut on and looped into left center field. That'll be in for a base hit. And Gilliam will score easily. All Mays can do is lob it back into second. So Samoli loops a single. Gilliam scores. It's 5-2 Brooklyn, and let's pause for station identification. This is the Brooklyn Dodgers Radio Network.
The antics of Bob and Ray, lively music, the latest weather and sports flashes, all yours on the 5 at 5. Weekday afternoons on WOKO, dial 1460, Albany, New York.
All right, 1 out back here in Brooklyn. Score 5-2 Brooklyn. Samoli driving in his 40th run at first base, and the batter Elmer Vallow. Crone sends a fastball low, ball 1. Well, Jim Gilliam tonight twice has stolen second, and each time has been able to come around to score. Vallow tonight is 0 for 3. 1-0 pitch to Elmer. Fastball hit down to Darrell Spencer, who steps on second, throws to first, and they get the double play. Simoli erased at second, and for Brooklyn in the 7th inning, they pick up 2 runs on 3 hits. Nobody left on. There were no Giant errors. And at the end of 7 innings, Brooklyn 5 and the Giants 2.
Well, have you seen the 1957 edition of the Dodger Yearbook? It's a dandy. 48 pages of anecdotes, stories, pictures, and records of the Dodgers, and that terrific Willard Mullen cartoon on the cover. And have you seen the brand new Schaefer Lucky Strike Baseball Guide and Record Book? Man, is just crammed full of information. All-time records, complete rosters of all the major league teams, diagrams of the ballparks, a radio TV directory for every club, a fine piece on Pee Wee Reese, and also Emmett Kelly. Boy, this is some book. Well, listen to this. Both these fine books can be yours for only 50 cents. That's what I said. Both the 1957 Dodger Yearbook and the brand new Schaefer Lucky Strike Baseball Guide and Record Book can be yours for just $50. Now, here's how to get yours. Send 50 cents along with your name and address to Dodger Baseball Books, Box 119, Brooklyn, New York. That's Dodger Baseball Books, Box 119, Brooklyn, New York. Yes, sir, the biggest bargain of the year and the finest in the Baseball Reading League. It's a fine gift for that youngster of yours, too. And remember, this offer is being made for a limited time only. So order yours today.
It's 5-2. The Dodgers lead it. We go back to the top of the 8th and back to Ben.
Gil Harris will lead it off. He's 0 for 3 and taps one right by the mound. Drysdale up with it, makes his play to first, and Harris now is 0 for 4. 1 pitch, 1 out. Hank Sauer is 1 for 3, doubled in the 2nd inning. Hank hitting .250. Brooklyn, 5 runs on 8 hits and 1 error. The Giants, 2 runs, 8 hits and 1 error. And then 1 home run hit in the ball game. 2-run home run hit by Willie Mays. Drysdale gets a sign from Campanella. Called on, delivers, and the fastball a little high. Ball 1, 1-0. On deck, Darrell Spencer. The 1-0 pitch, sidearm fastball, and is a high fly ball to straightaway center. It's an easy play for Simoli, who moves slightly to his left and takes it for the out. 2 down. That brings up Spencer. Fly to center, single to center, and bounced out. Darrell hitting .271. His 10 home runs, 37 runs batted in. Dodgers trying to win this one tonight and then cut half a game of the Braves lead. More technically of the Cardinals. Braves in second place, trailing by half. The pitch to Spencer, sidearm curve, in for the strike, on 1. Dodgers, should they win tonight, would trail by 2.5. The strike 1 pitch, sharp curve in the dirt. 1 ball, 1 strike. Cincinnati trailing by 4.5, and they'll be playing the Milwaukee Braves at County Stadium beginning tomorrow night. Drysdale's 1-1 pitch is a fastball low and inside. Ball 2, 2-1. 2 out, bases empty in the 8th inning. Brooklyn 5, Giants 2. First game of a 4-game series, meeting number 10 of the year. The 2-1 pitch to Spencer. Fastball, a bunt attempt. Count 2-2. Outfield on Spencer, just about straight away. Drysdale ready. Now the 2-2 pitch. Curveball cut on, a high pop fly. Hodges going out, but Gilliam hollers him off the ball, and Jim takes it for the 3rd out. Giants out in order in the 8th. And at the end of 7.5 innings of play, Brooklyn 5 and the Giants 2.
The injury plague that's been with the Dodgers all season hasn't been limited to the players. No, sir. Now Doc Wendler is ill. He has a stomach virus that will keep him sidelined for a couple of days.
The new Dodger plane made it back from Milwaukee in 2 hours and 50 minutes. It arrived so early that many of the wives and friends of the players weren't on hand to drive them home. Well, thanks, Happy Joe Lucky. We'll be checking in with you later on more of your clubhouse chat. Now it's to the bottom of the 8th inning. Gil Hodges coming up. The Brooklyn Dodgers lead it. Another score of 5-2. Vin, you all ready?
Yeah, we're ready, Al. Now, they had roar in the background, a couple of youngsters running out on the field. That happened in England too early. I don't know why kids would do that. You know what I was thinking of, watching the young boys run around? Remember the great Joe Louis remark, talking about Billy Conn? He said he can run, but he can't hide. That's what happens out here at the ballpark. You eventually have to meet the law. Gil Hodges takes a curve low and inside. Ball 1. Bottom of the 8th inning. Brooklyn 5 and the Giants 2. Hodges hitting .303. Lined out. Single. Fly to center. 1-0 pitch to Gil. Curve that's in for the strike. 1-1. Something coming down on the field. I don't know what it is. And right now everybody's busy picking them up. Like little white pebbles from here. It's hard to say. Balmy Thomas, Frank Sikori, Gil Hodges, bat boy Eddie Lehan, all picking them up. 1-1 the count. Last of the 8th, 5-2 Brooklyn. Now the 1-1er. Crone delivers, fastball low, ball 2, 2-1. The Dodgers led 1-0 at the end of 2 innings, and the Giants, on Willie Mays' 2-run home run, took the lead of 2-1. Brooklyn tied it in the 3rd, went ahead with 1 in the 5th, went out in front by 3 when they came up with 2 runs in the 7th. They lead 5-2. 2-1 pitch to Hodges, a fastball that's low, ball 3. 3-1. Ray Crone has come upon hard times this year. Record 4-5. Delivers 3-1 to Hodges, who swings and doesn't get it. 3-2. Crone pitched a complete game victory when he was with the Braves against Brooklyn on June the 11th, and that was his last complete game. He's made 8 incomplete starts since then, not counting tonight. He has a 4-game losing streak. He's 1-4 with the Giants. 3-2 pitch to Hodges. Fastball cut on and missed. Strike 3. So Gil strikes out for Crone, his 7th strikeout. The Dodgers lead, however, 5-2, and the batter is called Frillo. Frillo has an infield single, struck out and bounced out. Carl hitting .270. Members Night, August 28th. Make it one he'll never forget. Just by being on hand, you help to make it a night. Make a fellow feel good to see a big crowd out here honoring him. It'll be Frillo's night in the spotlight. Crone ready and delivers, and a curveball on the outside corner for a strike. 0-1. 5-2 Brooklyn. 1 out, bases empty. Bottom of the 8th inning. Tomorrow night, Kurt Barkley for the Giants, and either Johnny Padres or Roger Craig for Brooklyn. Strike 1 pitch, another curve outside. 1-1. When the Giants bat in the 9th, they'll have Dusty Rhodes, Valmy Thomas, and Ray Crone's spot due to come up. Delivers 1-1 to Frillo, and looked like a changeup outside and low. Ball 2, 2-1. Frillo waiting. Crone ready to work to him now, and the 2-1 pitch. Fastball in for the strike. Frillo of a mind to swing and check. 2-2. 15,070 on hand tonight. Hope you'll be with us tomorrow night. And if you can, maybe over at Roosevelt Stadium Wednesday night. The series concludes Thursday night back here at Ebbets Field. 2-2 pitch, curveball fouled away. The Giant pitching is set up for the series. Ray Crone tonight, Kurt Barkley tomorrow night, Johnny Antonelli over at Jersey City, and Ruben Gomez due to wrap it up Thursday night. The Dodgers will have either Padres or Craig working tomorrow night, and Newcomb over at Jersey City. The 2-2 pitch, a fastball foul back. Thursday night's game is still kind of a question mark. It's conceivable that the man who does not work tomorrow, either Padres or Craig, would work Thursday, and there's also an outside chance that maybe Danny McDevitt will work it. And that's a pretty good setup for you. Crone ready, 2-2 to Carl Furillo. Right-hander ready and delivers. Fastball at line to left field. Sauer comes on and drops the ball at his ankles, and Furillo holds on. Hank tried to grab it just off his right ankle and couldn't hold on to it. It'll go as a base hit. Tough play for an outfielder charging a sinking line drive. So Furillo chimes in with his second hit. That is hit number 9 off Ray Crone, and it brings up Roy Campanella. Roy 1 for 3 with an infield single, batting .234. Marv Grissom ready to warm up again now in the Giant bullpen. 1 out. Crone delivers, curve to Campy, who's fouled it away. 0-1. Lucky Strike sending it all to you from Ebbets Field tonight. Dodgers mighty happy to be home after a 14-game road trip. They won 8 and lost 6. And they're home for a pretty good spell outside for a brief visit to Pittsburgh and to the Polo Ground. Strike 1 pitch to Campanella. Fastball at his knees. Strike 2. The Dodgers, outside of those 2 little jump-away stops, will be home until September the 3rd. And boy, there'll be a lot of business conducted at this old stand between now and then. The strike 2 pitch to Campy, a fastball low, ball 1, 1-2. Furillo at first, 1 out, bottom of the 8th, 5-2 Brooklyn. Pawing at the dirt. Now looks in to get his sign from Balmy Thomas. Ray to his stretch. Now a check at first. The 1-2 pitch. Fastball cut on and hit down the right field line, beginning to slice and go foul. Hits the top roller, bounces in the air, and settles into the hands of one of the Dodgers in the bullpen. Count remains 1 ball, 2 strikes. On deck, Randy Jackson. The 1-2 pitch to Roy. Overhand fastball. A big high bouncer to Spencer, who grabs it and goes to second. The throw to first is not in time. Campanella hit one right down in the dirt. It took big high bounces to Spencer. Not only did he have to wait for it to come to him, but O'Connell had to wait at second for the toss. He was a setting duck for Furillo to wrap up, and the throw to first didn't have much on it. Fourth play, 6-4. 2 down, the batter, Randy Jackson. Randy is 0 for 3, bounced out twice and struck out, batting .242. On deck, Charlie Neal. Curveball to Jackson, cut on and missed for a strike. And the crowd down in the left field corner beginning that habit of getting on the visiting pitcher warming up in the bullpen. Strike 1 pitch to Jackson is in there, 0-2. Reminds us that the first time it happened at Ebbets Field, where a crowd suddenly concentrated on a visiting pitcher, oohing and ahhing as he threw, was when the Giants were here earlier this year and when Marv Grissom was loosening up in the bullpen. Well, Marv is no stranger to it. Some of the other pitchers are first amazed and then start to have fun with the crowd. Strike 2 pitch to Jackson. Curveball just outside. Ball 1. 1-2. 2 out in the 8th. Brooklyn 5 runs, 9 hits and 1 error. The Giants 2 runs, 8 hits and 1 error. And Grissom now is starting to have some fun. He'll give the crowd in the left field corner a big motion, and the last time he threw a balloon. Now he's back to throwing hard again. Jackson waiting. The 1-2 pitch by Ray Cohn. A fastball foul back. 1-2. Grissom in the bullpen starts to double pump, then hesitates, and the crowd starts to giggle a bit. Marv ready down in the bullpen and delivers, and the crowd oohs and ahs. Some pitchers will wind up, give it all the motion they have, and then not throw it all. That time, Grissom, halfway to his windup, just froze like a statue. All right, the play at the plate. The 1-2 pitch, a fastball grounded to Darrell Spencer, who bobbles the ball, picks it up, throws to first, too late. So Spencer, in booting the ball, I think it might have hit him in the chest and then in the chin. So Darrell draws an error, and Don Zimmer will now run for Randy Jackson at first base. Error to Darrell Spencer. The second Giant error of the evening. Dodgers at first and second, 2 out, and Charlie Neal the batter.
Number 23, Don Zimmer.
Charlie Neal batting .270. Is 1 for 3. He doubled to right field his last time up in the 7th inning and eventually came around to score. Fastball slash foul off the facade of the upper deck and bounds down below. And the fan in the box seats makes a fine play. Boy, Neal really triggered one that time. Boom, 0-1. Meanwhile, not back at the ranch, but back in the Giant bullpen, Marv Grissom still warming up and the crowd really getting the boot out of it. Amazing thing about Ebbets Field, you come out here and the folks have fun no matter what's going on the field, no matter what section they're in. They dream up something. It's good to see. Cone ready. A strike 1 pitch. Fastball, a half swing, and it's in there. 0-2. Remember when Bill Nicholson used to play during the war for the Chicago Cubs and the crowd used to give him that swish treatment every time he moved the bat back and forth? Boy, they really used to sing it out for Bill. Cone set. The strike 2 pitch. Fastball just inside. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Roy Campanella at second. Don Zimmer running for Randy Jackson at first. 2 out in the 8th. 5-2 Brooklyn. Checks his runners. Now the 1-2 pitch to Neal. Curveball fouled off first base, down the line, heading for the stands and back in. Gets the lip of the upper deck. Checking signs. 1-2 to Charlie Neal. Drysdale due to follow. 2 out. Cone delivers 1-2, and the fastball is low. 2 balls, 2 strikes. The ballpark, the stands on the left field side are almost split down the middle. From third base towards home plate, the people are watching the ball game. From third base down the line, they're all watching Grissom, who right now is not warming up. He just kind of had a set stop, and now he throws. The pitch to Neal, low, ball 3. So kind of in the main ring, it's Ray Cohn pitching to Charlie Neal, and off in the corner, having a lot of fun, the crowd watching Marv Grissom warm up. Full count to Neal, 2 out. Runners ready to go in the 8th. 5-2 Brooklyn. Campanella from second, Zimmer from first. Cohn checks. The runners go, and the curveball is bounced to Ray Jablonski. Fires over to first for the out, and that does it in the 8th. For Brooklyn in the 8th inning, no runs, 1 hit. There was 1 error, and 2 men left on. The end of 8 innings of play, Brooklyn 5 and the Giants 2.
Well, you know, it's not very often that philosophy and baseball go together, but Mr. Gil Hodges has managed to combine the two. All right, Gil.
Those bench jockeys, they can sit there all day long making one wisecrack after another and really have themselves a ball. Me, I'll just leave it to the other guys and take my fun after the game. That means grabbing a shower and sitting around with a Lucky. They're all cigarette, all tobacco, all the way through. I'd say Lucky's are the best tasting cigarette I ever smoked.
Yes, Sir Gil, smokers everywhere find that Lucky's taste better, and for good reason. Lucky's are made of fine, mild, naturally good-tasting tobacco that's toasted to taste even better. So do as Gil says and light up a Lucky's. You'll say it's the best-tasting cigarette you ever smoked.
The top for the 9th inning. Have a change for the Brooklyn Dodgers. And for the New York Giants, it'll be Rhodes coming up to the plate. All right, then.
Don Zimmer, who ran for Jackson at third now. Bob Kennedy warming up Drysdale, while Campanella, who's on the base path, puts on the gear. Now to the 9th. 5-2 Brooklyn. Dusty Rhodes. Don Mueller out on deck. Maybe he'll hit instead of Valmy Thomas, and we'll see about Ray Crone's spot. Dusty Rhodes tonight has walked, flied to left, and looped a single to left. Dusty hitting .213. Drysdale delivers, fastball cut on, a high pop fly. Don Zimmer at third, coming in at the mound now, just back of the mound, and makes the play. So Zimmer just getting into the ball game. 1 pitch, and he has a chance and a putout. Now Don Mueller hitting for Valmy Thomas. Don batting .233. And over at the bat rack, Bobby Thompson to hit for Ray Crone. Drysdale delivers, and Mueller takes a strike on 1. Sandy Koufax and Clem Labine getting ready in the Brooklyn bullpen just in case. Strike 1 pitch, sidearm fastball hit foul down the line. Carries into the upper deck. 0-2. Mueller waiting 0-2. Drysdale delivers, fastball, it's fouled away. Count remains, no balls, 2 strikes. Brooklyn 5, Giants 2 in the 9th inning, the first game of a 4-game series. Remember now, tomorrow night, Johnny Padres or Roger Craig against Kurt Barkley here at Brooklyn. Wednesday night, be Johnny Antonelli and Don Newcomb at Roosevelt Stadium in Jersey City. Fastball is bounced wide at third. Zimmer knocks it down and can't make a play. Zimmer had a strange thing happen to him as he was sliding over to the left to field the ball. I think he kicked some dirt into his eyes. For just as soon as he bobbled the ball, Zimmer never made a move and began to pull at his right eye. I think that's what happened to him. Don Drysdale is standing directly in front of him, looking into his eye. But as a quick guess, as Zimmer went to his left to field the ball, you know how your feet would glide with the spikes on him, I think he kicked dirt into his own eye. Bill Bueller is out there right now looking at the right eye, along with Gil Hodges, Drysdale, and Neal. And now Walter Austin goes out. So apparently Don's all right. He'll stay in there. Free play. Oh, that'll go as a base hit. Don Mueller hitting one wide at third. Zimmer got his glove on it. I think he kicked dirt into his eye and then had no idea where the ball went as it dropped out of his glove. Bobby Thompson now coming up to hit for Ray Crone. Bobby hitting .239. Hodges not holding Mueller on, and Campanella points there to alert Drysdale to that fact. Sidearm fastball to Thompson is a high foul to the left of the plate. Campanella and Zimmer converging. Who's going to call? They bump together, and Campanella makes the play.
Campy, in catching the foul turn, Zimmer ran into him and bumped Campanella just back of the right ear, but he's all right. Actually, with a crowd like this, and the high foul, I guess it should have been Drysdale's play to get down there and make sure that the men knew which one was going to have the play. With the crowd roaring, Campanella and Zimmer collided, but fortunately not seriously. Okay, 2 out. In the ninth, Mueller at first base, and the batter, Danny O'Connell, who becomes a very, very big man. For on deck is Willie Mays. Drysdale delivers, and O'Connell swings and doesn't get it. If O'Connell goes out, the ball game's all over. If he gets on, Willie Mays, when he comes to the plate, will represent the tying run. O'Connell tonight has 1 hit, batting .253. Drysdale delivers, sidearm fastball, whacked by Don Zimmer, and down the line for a base hit. Mueller makes his turn and holds on, and here comes Willie Mays, who is 4 for 4. Coming out to the mound. We'll see about Drysdale, who has now allowed 2 runs but 10 hits. He is leading 5-2 with 2 out in the ninth. The Giants have runners at first and second, and Willie Mays the batter. Alston has made a motion to the bullpen, and Clem Labine, who is warming up with Sandy Koufax, will be brought in. So Drysdale works 8 2/3 innings. Gave up 10 hits and at least 2 runs. Don cannot lose the ball game. He is responsible only for the men on the base path. He can be the winner, or depending upon how Labine fares, he might have nothing to do at all with it. Willie Mays tonight singled to right field in the first inning, hit a 2-run home run into the center field seats in the third, singled to left field in the fifth, singled to center field in the seventh. Willie's average at .329, and Labine taking over for Don Drysdale. Oh, while Drysdale comes walking off, Labine going to get squared away out there in the mound. A lot of things jumping around Ebbets Field from now until September the 3rd. And to remind you of a couple of them, here's Al.
Well, I'd like to remind you folks, too, about the 3 more dates in Jersey City this season. This Wednesday night, the New York Giants, and a week from Friday, that's Friday, August 16th, the Pittsburgh Pirates. And the final game at Roosevelt Stadium, a night game, the night after Labor Day, that's September 3rd with the Philadelphia Phillies. 3 exciting ball games in Jersey City, rounding out another exciting season across the river. Hope you Jersey Dodger fans will be getting out for all 3. Tickets on sale at the Bostonian Store and Roosevelt Stadium in Jersey City, the Surplus Store in Bayonne, Sullivan Sports Store in Elizabeth. At tomorrow night's game, a party of red-hot baseball fans from the Navy Depot in Bayonne. Other parties are welcome, of course. Join the fun of baseball in Jersey City. Don't forget, we'll be looking forward to seeing you over there. We look forward to seeing you right here at Ebbets Field tomorrow night, too. And these 2 clubs will be squaring off against each other again. Well, Clem Labine is on now in relief of young Don Drysdale. Throwing a couple of warm-up pitches down. He's feeling them on. New York right now standing 2 runs, 10 hits, 2 errors, and Brooklyn 5 runs, 9 hits, 1 error. Labine is being asked to save another ball game for Brooklyn, this time for Don Drysdale, who hasn't completed the ball game since the first drive. No, we're ready to go now with Willie Mays stepping up to the plate. Okay, Vin.
Clem Labine is making his 47th appearance in relief. He is 5-5 with the league and has saved 15. Willie Mays has been declaring a 1-man war tonight. Labine delivers. Mays checks, and the pitch is in for the strike. 0-1. So, 9th inning fireworks. Brooklyn 5, Giants 2. Don Mueller at second. Danny O'Connell at first. And the count to Mays, 0-1. Labine straddling the rubber. Now he's ready. The strike 1 pitch to Mays. Fastball up high. 1 ball, 1 strike.
WOKO, Albany, New York.
After Mays, Ray Jablonski. dangerous and throwing away in the Giant bullpen. The folks no longer are watching the bullpen. The eyes are riveted right now on the mound and home plate. Levine delivers 1-1. Pitch, fastball, cut on and missed, strike two, and Mays was trying to hit that one out of sight. Willie has 25 home runs, 70 runs batted in. Levine staring in. Mays moving that bat back and forth. 1 ball and 2 strikes with 2 outs. Levine checks the runners. The pitch. Fastball fouled away. Light up a lucky, hang right with us. Lem Levine and Willie Mays battling it out here in the 9th. Mays waiting, Levine staring in. Both base runners have short leads. Mays ready, and the 1-2 pitch. Curve outside, 2-2. Field deep around towards left. Perillo is to the left of the scoreboard, so all of right field is wide open. And time called. Mays jumps out of that hitter's box. Went out as if he had seen a rattlesnake up there. Now he's back in. 2-2 the count. Levine a check of his runners. The 2-2 pitch. Sinker low. Ball 3. Come down to this. A full count with 2 outs. Mays the batter. Mueller at second. O'Connell at first. Dodgers 5. Giants 2 in the 9th. Levine ready. The runners go. The curveball is fouled away. Mays, perhaps a little over-anxious, appeared to reach for the curve. Might have been on the corner, but as he fouled it away, Willie was talking to himself, shaking his head. And he's now about 15 feet away from home plate and now slowly walking back to the hitter's box. Willie's still not in that hitter's box. Count remains 3 balls and 2 strikes. Campanella is angled slightly, just off the outside corner. He's not dead center back of the plate. Mays waiting. Levine checks. The 3-2 pitch. Curve tapped slowly down to short. Neal charges. Up with it. Fires in time. So Willie goes 4 for 5, and the 5th time that he goes out here in the 9th inning closes shop. In the 9th, no runs, 2 hits, and 2 men left on for the Giants. So that does it. The final score, the Dodgers 5 and the Giants 2. We'll be back with the final recap of the game in just a moment.
Light up, lucky. It's light up time. Be happy, go lucky. It's light up time. For the taste that you like, light up a lucky strike. You'll say it's the best tasting cigarette you ever smoked.
Here are tonight's totals for the Brooklyn Dodger win. For Brooklyn, 5 runs, 9 hits, 1 error. They left 6 men on here tonight. Drysdale going 8 2/3 innings, relieved by Clem Levine. Drysdale has now won 9 ball games. He has lost 6. He's 2-1 with the Giants for 1957. For the Giants, 2 runs, 10 hits, 2 errors. They left 9 on here tonight. Ray Crone, going all the way for the New York Giants, sustains a loss. His record is now 4 wins. This was his 6th defeat.